Don't steal our son. Please, lads. Thrills. On XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
Yeah.
Little Carly Pilkington, little baldy mank, whinging little twat. How are you?
Yeah, alright, yeah.
What are you doing? Happy? Feeling a bit happier today? You look as full of spunk, as they say in America.
Yeah, I'm alright. Just a bit of a miserable day though, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit miserable.
Yeah.
Walking in today, right? Do you know I walked through, like, the, sort of the gay district of London and that?
Right. You don't walk, you mince, don't you?
I'm just walking through on the way to work, and I'm always interested in their little shops and stuff that they have, right? Loads of...
Their little shops.
There's nothing ashamed of. If you want to go in and buy something, go in and buy something.
I'm just having a look at, you know, looking in the windows and stuff. Little postcard, just near the entrance.
Yeah.
That's meant to tease people in, to make people go, that sounds good, I'll nip in, right? Little postcard. Free butt plugs with every sale.
That's great. How did we get from 5p off milk to free butt plugs with every sale?
Wow.
What society come to?
Well, it's because we're liberated, Rick.
Yeah.
You know, it's an open society.
What did you buy to get them? You didn't buy...
No, I didn't, but what's the purpose?
What, of a poster or of butt plugs?
Butt plugs, because I really honestly
You shove them up your arse, don't you?
Whoa, slow down, bum. Shove them up your bum.
Yeah.
But when? Is that just like when you're doing whatever, doing stuff around the house, or...?
I think it's not to keep things out. Is it like you would use a plug in the sink to keep, you know, water in the sink?
Oh, if you're not gay. Get that, oh yeah, no, I know what you mean, yeah.
I don't know.
No entry.
What is it? I mean, I don't understand what
I
that's
don't know, I assume it either feels good or are they, well, I've got to be careful here, or are they sort of like, breaking it in?
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a shoehorn. or, you know...
It's like when you stick, paper in your shoes if they're a bit tight.
Or those people who sort of like put little bits of wood in their lips, and then as soon they've got big plates in their lips.
Yeah.
Same with the butt plug. It means you can, you know, you're ready for anything. I don't know, do I? And then here comes face!
Well, if you know what butt plugs are used for, then why not get in touch? Ricky.Gervais@xfm.co.uk.
What do you think? If there's any...
I can't believe we're already on this subject.
I know.
It's 1:05 and we're
I was gonna say then, if there's any people who use butt plugs, and I was thinking that Karl would have said, well, they're not up yet.
Yeah.
Because they go out late.
No, but...
But what? Is it, we're award-winning people. We've written a TV
Not on
show,
radio,
it's
though.
widely
Not on radio. We're rubbish on radio.
I know, but
We've got nothing to lose.
But I always say to you, Steve, that I like educating people and that. Now, the way I see it is, I didn't know what they were.
Let's phone to go. Someone know about butt plugs.
Alright, well, we'll get
No, get them on. Get them on. Ask them.
No, because they might say something dodgy.
Oh!
Yeah, whereas, what have we just been doing?
Just take a chance. Take a chance and tell them not to swear.
Well, you tell them.
Okay.
Right, Steve, do
I
you
haven't got my headphones on.
Hello, who's that?
Hold on.
Who, sorry?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, hello, mate. You're not going to swear, are you?
No, I'm not going to
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Keep them keen. What were you calling about?
I'm phoning about your plugs.
About, well, not my plugs, but sure, plugs in general. What, do you know much about them?
No,
Are you a plug user yourself?
No, I'm just thinking if maybe you've got some gay friends and you're spending the night at their place, you might want to use one.
Right. What, you mean experiment with them, or?
No, so you can make sure they're not going to do anything while you're asleep.
Could I suggest, you know, just lock the door? I mean, that is easier to me.
Can I make a bigger suggestion? That's probably the most homophobic thing we've had said on the show today. Thanks very much for your call. Right, okay, good. Well, that's why we shouldn't put people on the line. Just, you know, without checking first. I think Karl's made a good point. That's the calibre of listener we've got. God Gave Rock and Roll to Ya by Kiss on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant.
I'm bloody glad he did, Steve.
Thank you, I am.
Cheers.
Karl Pilkington's with us as well. He's learnt some stuff while the song's been on.
He's had a couple of calls, one from a bloke, one from a woman who worked in a sex shop, and you learnt quite a lot. I can see your eyes widening. What have you learnt then about butt plugs?
I haven't really learnt anything. I still don't understand it.
Yes, you have.
No, but the woman was just saying, you know, it spices things up a bit.
Yeah.
Well, what do you need to do that for? The end result is always the same, I think. So why complicate it? Do you know what I mean? Are you with me, though? These people who say, you know, they do stuff all night, it's like, what's the point? That's why I like short stories and that.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So...
Excellent. I wish people could see what he looks like when he's talking like it. Oh, in fact, he's in Heat next week, Steve.
Right.
Yeah, they've put a picture of him. They could do the grab off the DVD, and he's behind the scenes, and he's got his little picture in Heat, and he hates it, don't you?
Well, I'm a bit annoyed because I didn't want it in.
Why are you worried?
Just don't want people
knowing what you
knowing
look
what I look like and that.
Why?
Were you on the DVD?
Yeah, but...
It's to public domain, anyone can take it off there and put it on the paper now.
But that's extras on a DVD, and I'm just thinking not that many people, if they watch it, they won't take it in, stuff like that.
What are you worried about then?
Just, there's like me brother and sister and stuff who I don't see anymore, if they know what I look like now, they might...
What do you mean if they know what you look like now? They've just got to imagine little Karl Pilkington with no hair.
No, I've changed quite a lot, because I work hard, don't I, so I've aged quite badly. Right. And I'm just thinking if they...
You used to have the hair of a Chinaman,
But
didn't you?
sorry, why is it a problem for your brother and sister to see you and to...
Because I don't see them anymore, do I? And they'll come out of the woodwork now.
What?
They're after your millions?
No, so they're sitting at home, they're looking at Heat, and there goes Karl Pilkington, oh, Karl's my brother, my brother, oh, maybe I'll go and see him.
I don't want the hassle.
But they could find out where you are
What's the hassle then?
It's just hassle of having friends and family and that.
You mean this, don't you?
Yeah, it's, you know that I'm not into having
But
mates
if
and
either
that.
your brother or your sister came to your door, would you not welcome them in and give them a cup of tea?
Do you know what? He bumped into his sister, right, after about 7 years, in a car park somewhere, right? And she went, oh, I've got a picture of my new kid, do you want to see it? He went, not really, all kids look the same. And she went off in half.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but that's the problem though, isn't it? She hasn't seen me for years and years. That's the way I am. I'm not like being rude or anything, I'm just... says what comes in my head.
Oh, don't give me that. Don't do that. I'm not rude. It's what comes in me head.
That's a rubbish excuse.
Not
know
rude.
me, know my ways.
Yeah.
Right, am I wrong then? Let's look at it. Let's look at what I said.
Hey, there's an ounce of Obama's cakes. Know me, know my ways. Get out, you twiddle flunt. What is that? What sort of philosophy is that? Know me, I'm rude and take it or leave
I'm not being rude.
You are being rude!
What, saying that all babies look the same?
It's your nephew! You didn't even bother to have a look. You could have been courteous and had a look at the picture.
If it was a first, I'd say fair enough, but she's got loads of kids.
Oh, fair enough. What kind of woman is she?
David Bowie, Lady Stardust from Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I went to see him Tuesday. I know you went to see him Wednesday, Steve. I mean, obviously I'm a mental fan, but I think objectively that was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
He's got the best band in the world. He played all the hits. It was an amazing show. The sound was incredible. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
it's
his
just
voice as well. I think people don't realise how
incredible.
incredible his voice is.
It was absolutely
soulful is the word I'd use.
brilliant. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. You don't care, do you, Karl? We don't care about this.
You never really go to gigs, do you, Karl? The live music experience is not something you enjoy.
Can be alright. I mean,
Go on.
I heard that someone else who went to the Bowie thing said that he sort of messed with the songs a bit, which would annoy me.
No, he didn't.
Not really.
Hardly at all.
He said when they did Life on Mars, instead of saying something about just the tune of it, he messed with it so it wasn't the same. That would annoy me.
What would you do? Get up and leave?
But I mean, we're not talking Bob Dylan or Sinatra. He ad-libbed a little bit, I suppose, and it's his song, but it was totally faithful. He was singing the songs. What do you mean?
Well, it's just don't mess with stuff. It's like if you went to see Titanic and then the boat didn't have a crash, you go, what they doing? It's like, oh, I fancied messing with it.
Well, he
That's what I
didn't.
mean,
Well,
don't mess with
I'll tell you, he didn't mess with it. Relatively speaking, he did not mess with the songs. They were brilliant renditions.
That would be a hell of a film, though, where Titanic gets to New York. Absolutely fine.
Oh, Karl.
But,
oh, you're amazing.
It's because I work here, though, and there's a lot of gigs going on all the time, and then you get to a point when, you just go, get a bit fed up with that.
Well, when was the last time you went to a live experience?
Well, I've been to gigs, but the one that springs to mind probably is when I first sort of tried a gig out, and it wasn't a music one, it was Bottom, do you know, with...
Bottom the live thing with
Rick Mail and Equanimity.
Yeah, in
when
Manchester.
was that?
Years ago, because it was in Manchester in about, I don't know, 87, 88 or something, and I was set up for like a blind date. Right, this a mate of mine sort of set me up to see this.
What?
girl.
So you said let's go to Bottom?
Well, I didn't tell her. I just said meet us at the Apollo.
I bet she was over the moon, wasn't she?
Met her there. Said right.
Romantic.
Going to see some middle-aged men run round in pants. Brilliant.
Well, it's good. It's one of them things that afterwards you've got something to talk about, haven't you, and stuff.
Yeah.
So was it a good gig?
Yeah, it was all right. Sort of bought some April fruits and that at the start of the night.
Yeah.
I think she liked that. And then we watched Bottom. Then afterwards had a bit of a chat. And then,
You didn't see her again, I take it?
I would have done right, 'cause she was alright looking and everything.
Yeah.
But when we were chatting, she said, she had a problem with a marrow
What?
and that.
She what?
She had a problem with a marrow.
She had a problem with her marrow?
Yeah.
You mean her bone marrow?
Yeah.
Oh! I thought you meant she had one stuck of her fanny.
No, just a...
Thanks for that, Rick. That's an image I can't get out of my head.
No, I wondered what. Oh, I think a marrow. I thought it was a marrow. Her marrow.
And is that serious, that? Well, I just was put off it, because I thought... If you
Well, I think it's more serious than problem with a marrow.
Yeah.
I mean...
with a marrow and that.
It's an idea if you're bored with butt
I
nuts.
love it! I love it! Everything he says is like someone from Kes.
It was just that thing that...
You didn't want to go out with a girl who might be ill in some way.
Well, yeah, I thought, what's the point in spending time with her, spending money on her and stuff, and then she's gonna die on me?
Oh!
No, but seriously.
God!
No, but I'm just... see, this is what annoys me.
Oh,
You asked me to be honest, but I'm
Oh.
just saying, what's the point in me getting upset and stuff?
No, but it's not the... It was the one thing he said, what's the point in spending money on her if she's gonna die anyway? You've got to realise that's not a normal thing to say!
No, but what's the point in getting to really knowing someone and thinking, oh, she's really nice, I want to spend my life with her? It's good that she told me when she did.
Carl! What, during Bottom? This is the most amazing thing you've ever said!
Steve, don't you understand what I'm saying?
But no, because... What? Well, firstly, it's the assumption that she's going to drop dead and you're going to think, well, I just bought her some April fruits, I'm livid.
I don't know what it means when you've got a problem with a marrow and that, but she looked pretty serious when she was talking about it. So I was like, oh...
Christ almighty!
I don't understand what's so bad about that.
Play a record! I'll tell you. I'll explain to her during the break. Play a record.
Libertines?
Yeah.
If you're morally objectionable, why not email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
It's okay, he's an idiot.
True.
Mollis Chambers, Kings of Leon on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Steve,
Yes.
I want to talk to you. I think it was, might have been Wednesday night. I was in the pub. Phone goes. Karl goes, "Are you watching that thing about parasites?"
Right.
I went, "No, I'm out." He went, "Oh, fella with a maggot in his head."
Fellow with a maggot in his head.
Yeah. And they go, "Oh no, he's pulling it out now." Oh, God. I said, "Well, I'll get it. I said, "Yeah, see you later." About 5 minutes later, I get a message on my phone. Beep, beep. I look at it. It just says, "Oh no, there's a fella with his fish up his cock now."
There's a fellow with a fish up his cock.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Want to explain that, Karl? Is it one of those little ones that swim up if you're having a slash in the Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it? But it was like stuff like that. It started off with
What does the fish do when it gets in there?
just sits there.
Why? Well,
Well, what else can it do?
no, but why does it go up there?
Don't know. I didn't listen to that bit. There's a bit. It started off with a fella who had a bit of meat and got a tapeworm inside him,
Yeah.
and he grew it for however long, and then it came out at the end. It was about 7 foot long.
On purpose?
Yeah, he did it on purpose. Yeah, for the program, right?
I think, yeah. Probably slimming, isn't it?
Well, I was thinking that could I mean, you're a fan of Waller. Could he purposely have about 8 of them?
What, Rick Waller?
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Because they were saying how they eat, you know, a lot of stuff when they're in you. They just eat.
Well, they take enough so you don't die, and nor do they. Yeah, but I mean, you've got to keep taking them out, haven't you? Because you'll still have the same weight. Because it's got to go somewhere. So you'll have them in you. What you got to do is like let them eat your meal and then take them out.
Do you think worm watchers will catch on?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that happened, right? And then yeah, there was a woman with a maggot in her head.
A woman with a maggot in her head?
Yeah, just she went on holiday, it got in there somehow, and
Stowaway.
It just oh, it was massive. And the thing is, she had a hole in her head, and she's there being interviewed with the doctor, like, and you can see it just sort of sticking its head out. Like, do you know when you see a cartoon with a maggot in an apple?
Yeah.
And it looks out, and looks around like that.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just take it out there and then?
I think they could have done, but the doctor's messing about. It's like, well, it's good for the show, isn't it? And they left it in there.
Right, that's libelous.
Well,
that is libelous.
But I found it weird. Why not just grab it?
Because there must be a reason. There must be one of those medical reasons that you don't really know about, Karl.
Right. And another bit. This was the best one. Right?
Grab it.
Right. There's this fella, and he was on his bike, right,
yeah.
cycling to work or whatever, and he sort of sees this thing in the corner of his eye. Right?
Literally in the corner of his eye. Or you mean he saw
He just said he saw
in his peripheral vision. Okay, yeah.
Thought, what's that?
Yeah.
So he thought, oh, doesn't matter, whatever. And he stops off at a cafe, right, get a little scone, a tea or whatever, and he goes in there, and he's sat down, and the waiter comes over, he says, yeah, what do you want? He says, I'll have a scone and a tea. He goes, alright then. So he goes to get it, comes back, as he puts the tea and the scone down, his face is like, what is that, right, like a look of frightenedness on his face, right, drops the tea and legs it. So the fella's going, what? So he legs it after the bloke and goes, what? And he says, oh, something came out of your nose. That was massive.
Sorry, something came out of the guy's
it's all true, because people would have watched it, so don't start saying it didn't happen.
Hang on, I just need to clarify. The guy on the bike...
I don't believe he ran away. I don't believe he legged it. I don't believe he had a look of frightenedness on his face, and I don't believe he said something massive came out your nose. And I don't even believe he had a cup of tea and a scone. These are the things that I think are embellished.
But who had something coming out of his nose? Was it the guy serving the scone?
The one who was on the bike who ordered the scone.
Yeah, but what was it?
Came out of his nose.
What was it? Came out of his nose.
Right. So he goes home. And he thinks, I've got to sort this out because it's not good and that. So he's.
But what? No, it was out of his nose. So you mean it poked out of his nose? It didn't come out.
It just said hello and then it.
It was like the maggot in the head.
Yeah,
he just popped his head out, had a look around, and went back in.
Why did the bloke drop the tea and run?
Well, it's weird, isn't it?
Alright, so he goes home.
He goes home and he goes, oh, God, you know. So he sits in front of the mirror, and he's sat there waiting. This thing comes out. Again, sort of looks round, goes back in again, so he goes, oh.
No scones.
Right?
No,
so he goes, I've got to sort this out. He goes to the doctor's, says to the doctor, I've got something up my nose, it just keeps coming out and having a look round, going back in.
Didn't say that.
The doctor's like, oh, I haven't heard of that before, right?
Didn't say that.
So sat there, he does it again, the doctor looks, you know, frightened again.
He runs away?
Yeah.
Well,
he's got a look of frightenedness on his face.
He had a look of medical frightenedness. He dropped his stethoscope and legged it.
No, he said, I know what it was. So what? So you got a leech up your nose. He had a leech about that long.
What's radio?
Well, how long's that?
4 inches.
4 inches coming out of his nose. Next time it stuck its head out, he grabbed it, pulled it out. That's horrible though, isn't it? Isn't it?
Can I just remind people, just let people know, when Karl was saying it was about that long, and Ricky said 4 inches, he was using his fingers.
Oh yeah, he didn't have his, no.
There's nothing else
The feather out, no.
So he had a leech up his nose. How did he get a leech up his nose?
Don't know, again, I'm not that bothered about that bit. All the footage and stuff.
Oh, player record.
Brilliant programme.
Yeah.
It's just the same, he just sees that, he gets fast, he doesn't read on. His education is just sound bites and self-embellishment in his own head.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like, he gets all his news from Ananova and he just reads the headline.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he just doesn't bother reading it.
But you know, he considers that education. He gets annoyed if you think that more information is useful.
Don't get going on that, 'cause we'll talk about that later. If you're
I'll tell you what,
go.
right, okay, okay, we're gonna play a song now, and, I'm gonna tell London Karl's confusion over evolution.
Right.
Are you two?
Oh, brilliant.
Sweetest thing.
Yeah.
104.9 XFM, 104.9. Yeah. You two, the sweetest thing on XFM. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
So, we're with Karl in the week. So, well, what can we do this week? I was saying, well, don't do Rockbusters, that's dead in the water. I hope the listening public agree with me. He's going, well, you know, why don't I teach you stuff again? Remember what I taught you last week? I went, no, no idea. Were you joking? I went, no. And it was, he went, Ivan the Terrible gouged out the fella's eyes.
Yeah.
He actually said Ivan the Terrible at the time.
Yeah.
So.
I can't remember. This was a man who had built something for Ivan the Terrible and then Ivan
but his idea of
eyes
education is telling someone something that knows more about the subject than him so they can correct him when he's telling them it. And, so I said, well, I don't know, and he gets annoyed that me and you are dubious against monkeys who perform bank robberies, and he goes, but you believe in Newton. He doesn't know the difference. I was trying to explain the laws of the universe, right? He was going, what do you... And so all I come up with, I thought somewhat interesting. You know when you tell a child maths, you say you've got 3 potatoes and you've got 4 potatoes. I have to do that with science to Karl. So I ended up saying, imagine you're in a shopping trolley with loads of house bricks. If you throw the house bricks out, you'll go the other way. He loved that.
Right.
He didn't you?
Hmm. Because I didn't know that would happen, and it's sort of useful to know. It sort of explained a bit to me and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I like doing stuff every week. I think listeners go away going, well, I didn't know that. Do you know what I mean? Karl told me something there.
They forget it instantly, just like we do. We're friends of yours, and we forget it instantly.
No, the annoying thing with you is, Steve, not so much, Ricky, at least he'll listen now and again, you'll just dismiss stuff straight away. I told you loads of stuff yesterday, I taught you loads of stuff. But Karl, what you consider education... hang on, what you consider education, I consider tittle-tattle. Well...
It's not education, do you know what I mean? You seem to think it's education, it's just kind of gossip, stories you've sort of half-read.
Right, alright, example of yesterday. Goldfish have longer memories than people think they do.
Yeah.
You said no, it's rubbish.
No, we didn't. We said, where'd you get that from? We said, oh, really?
From?
Yeah.
There's not enough information there for it to be educational. Because
because it's also relative. Because that as a statement, it has no objectivity. Goldfish's memories are longer than some people think. That isn't a fact.
Exactly.
Because we don't know how long do people think a goldfish's memory is. Do you see what that isn't a fact? Whereas Newton's laws of physics and the universe are.
Right. Yeah, but it was just a little thing. And I taught you more than that. I said about there's loads of Chinese people, if you put them in a line, you can't get to the end of it.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
There's loads of Chinese people.
We know that, but what? If we put them in a line, we can't get to the end of it?
We just say there's about 1 billion Chinese people in the world.
But what really annoys me is, right, I read something on the internet the other day, because I'm always trying to learn stuff.
Yeah, no you are, I know you are.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're having a go at me because you're saying, well, what does that mean? Yeah, there was a report on, I think it was on Anova or BBC News website, it said, the world may end in 32 million years. Right, first of all it says may, it doesn't say it will, and 32 million, who's going to argue with that? And yet they're allowed to put that on a website. You're not having a go at them.
No, but
you didn't read on.
There's more information.
That wasn't meant to be a newsflash to worry people. That was like, oh, scientists have discovered that possibility. That was just like.
Yeah, but again, possibility.
No, but Karl, but there's other paragraphs that you haven't read. You see, that'll have to give explanations as to why they think that might happen. So therefore, it becomes a news item. It becomes educational. It's not just the headline, the bullet point. The headline's just supposed to. It's supposed to draw you into the story so you read on. That's not all the information.
But then I was trying to come up with things to excite you, and I realised that I was opening a can of worms. I was trying to come up with facts for him. He was going, give me facts. So I said, oh, okay. Why can't an owl? Why does an owl have to turn its sort of head 180 degrees? And I said, it's because the eyes are so large, has a huge focal point for its sight, that they can't move within the skull, right? And he went, well, why'd they do that? Why don't they just do it, give them normal eyes, and then after I've turned their head? I went, what do you mean? Why didn't they? He went, well, whoever did that. I went, well, it was evolution, he went, right, he went, it's like giraffes. I read that giraffes grew their necks to eat food. So, well, they didn't grow their necks to get the food. the ones that had upshots lived longer and so got the food and passed on their... He went, yeah, but why didn't they just give them wings? I went, why didn't who just give them wings? He got angry and went, whoever gave them the necks! his understanding of evolution made me fall on the floor.
Who do you imagine is they? Because you don't believe in God, do you? So who is it you imagine is they?
Well, whoever made us sorted us out.
Who?
I don't know, it just happens, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Well, Karl, listen,
there's no will to evolution. It's natural selection,
I
isn't it?
still don't get it though. We talked about an hour, didn't we?
I know.
Yeah, but to be fair, I watched as Ricky tried to give you actually what was quite a concise and educated version of evolution. He tried to explain it to you, and I have never seen a person lose interest quicker.
But I tried to use, actual fact, then I tried to use metaphor and analogy, then I showed you some computer programs to show what biofeedback is and everything. I tried all these things, and Steve's right, you were looking out the window.
Have you ever spoken, Karl, to someone who's got Alzheimer's disease? And you try to explain who you are, and they're listening, and then that's what you're like. It's extraordinary. But listen, seriously, I went home, I found this book, I found a couple of facts which I think are more up your street. Evolution, a little bit complicated. A little bit big. But this one, I think we may have mentioned it before, I think you'll like this. This is from a book of facts and trivia. The Egyptians trained baboons to wait on tables. That's interesting to you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Have you got any more there?
I'll see if I can find
Oh, he's interested.
Yeah.
Can get the staff.
That did happen,
You pay
That
peanuts,
definitely happened,
you get
yeah.
monkeys.
Then what did they go off and do after that?
Well, it doesn't say. So
I
this is
love
it.
the fact that he thinks, right, okay, so in his mind, it's now the monkey going, it's 5:30, I'm off, you know I was going early today, and they go off maybe dancing or something, or they come in late.
No, I assumed what you meant there is that was their first career move. And
Yeah,
then they
well,
went
they-
on. It's like actors waiting to be discovered.
Play a record.
Just one more before you play a record.
Go on then.
You'll like this. Peter the Great. You ever heard of Peter the Great?
No.
Okay, well anyway, Peter the Great had his wife's lover executed.
You'll love this, Karl.
Right, so his wife had a lover, he had him executed, and he put his head into a jar of alcohol, and his wife had to keep it in her bedroom. Do you understand? That's every time she saw, every morning she'd wake up, and there was her lover's head in a jar.
Who took his head off? He took his own head off.
Play a record.
Play a record.
She had a lover, and oh, never mind. Never mind. Mad World on XFM. We just had a text, Rick, from Andrew Barnes. He says he watched the same documentary, it would appear, as Karl did in the week. And he says here, just to clarify, the leech nose man got it up there when drinking from a muddy stream. And he goes on, one can only imagine the frightenedness he experienced.
Oh, Karl. Explain to him once more what happened with Peter the Great.
Alright, so we've got Peter the Great.
Yeah.
Okay. And his wife had a lover.
That's another man.
Another man.
Not Peter the Great.
She was having an affair with someone else.
Right.
And Peter the Great, he found out about that. Okay?
Yeah.
So he sliced off this bloke's head, he killed him, he executed him.
Right.
Were you with me so far?
The fella who
Oh, Jesus.
she was seeing for a bit.
Yeah, there's only two fellas involved
There's two
here,
people
though.
involved. One's Peter the Great, the other one's
Right,
not.
right.
The guy that's not Peter the Great...
Derek the Terrible.
Derek the Rubbish.
Yeah.
Right? He's having an affair with Peter the Great's missus. So Peter the Great slices off his head, puts it inside a jar of alcohol to preserve it, and puts it in his wife's bedroom. So every morning she wakes up, she sees her dead lover's head.
You'd have thought he wouldn't have wanted to remember, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Best bury the head so she don't remember.
Well, it was a reminder so as not to put it about.
And did it work?
Oh, I don't know!
I love that. Again, that to me is an amazing thing to do. And you go, did it work? I mean, you've got quite an interesting mind, actually. I mean, you are, in some ways, really, really bright and intelligent. I love the way you think. You're one of the cleverest blokes in some ways that I know.
Hello, it says I've got common sense.
Well...
Yeah.
And that's more important than knowing about, you know,
But it's
goldfish and that.
you really, it's like you follow the subplot, which is quite an interesting thing, do you know what I mean? It's like, you tell you a story, you'll always pick up on something that I didn't even think was an important bit. It's like you're always, you're looking out of the window all the time.
So what's important about that head thing?
What do you mean?
The head in the jar.
It's a grotesque thing to do. It shows, ego, power, cruelty, and revenge.
Although I think it probably did work, because he is called Peter the Great.
Yeah.
So you'd assume he got it right.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can query that. That's the sort of facts you give us. You see now, you're on the other side of the fence, and you've got questions just like we've always got questions.
No, but in Karl's thing, it would have been, turns out, some weird happened, right, and he was still alive.
Yeah.
And so she was still having sex with body, and his head was watching.
Yeah.
And Peter the Great didn't even know.
See how he's perked up?
I understand what you're saying. Now, I've learned some other stuff, so I'll see if I can, you know, educate you a bit before 3.
But I want to know, see what, I'll tell you what education I want. I want to know what sort of things I can buy this weekend.
Butt plugs.
No. Have you got any adverts?
Oh, yeah.
It's My Life and No Doubt on XFM, their version of the Talk
Love it.
song.
Love it.
You've enjoyed that, Rick?
Yeah, on XFM 104.9. Right, Karl. This is where he shines. This is where Karl gets, this is what Karl gets Mondays off for.
Yeah.
Okay, Karl, what is it? You want to explain this?
It's the bit when, I'm in a film, and, sort of edit me into it so I'm like an actor in a major film.
Yeah.
We've done Kes, we've done One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Shining, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
This week, it's A Few Good Men.
Brilliant film. Brilliant film.
With, Jack Nicholson and that.
Yeah.
So you listen to this, and, will we give the question later on? Probably.
Let's give it after this.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll give it after we've heard the clip.
I haven't really got one sorted, but I'll think of one whilst it's on. So, have a listen to this, take everything in, and then the question at the end. So it's a scene where it's a court case.
Yeah.
Alright? Alright.
All rise! Call your witness.
Yeah, he's just coming now. Alright, Jack?
Colonel.
What?
I'd appreciate if he would address me as Colonel or Sir. I believe I've earned it.
Defense counsel will address the witness as Colonel or Sir.
Alright. Alright, Colonel. Bit smart today with all the army stuff on.
You ever served in an infantry unit, son?
Nah. Brother did. He was in the army. Got kicked out though, 'cause he went for a packet of fags in a tank. Weird that, innit?
No, it's not. It's tragic.
I wouldn't say it's tragic. I'll show you something tragic. I always carry this book around with me. I always show it to people. It's got like the top 50 weird people in the world in it, right? It's all sorts of weird stuff in it. Look at this one here. It's a fella, right? He's got 2 heads. And the weird thing is, right, is the top 50 weird people in the world. He's at number 50, he's got 2 heads. Right? Makes you wonder what's going to be at number 1, doesn't it?
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
No, but look at it. Imagine if you were his mate. You wouldn't get a word in edgeways, would you? If you
Maybe he didn't have any friends.
Probably right, they say, don't they? They say 2's company, 3's a crowd, so...
Please tell me that you have something more, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I got loads more. For this fella at number 36, look at him. 3 legs. Little fellow with 3 legs, right? Guess what his job is?
My answer is I don't have the first damn clue.
Well, I'll tell you. He's a juggler.
I beg your pardon?
He's a juggler.
This is ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous. You're probably thinking what I'm thinking. Why wasn't he a footballer? They're great at keepy uppies and that.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
Yeah, it's just that I'd like to know the truth.
You can't handle the truth!
Gentlemen.
Well, I've paid for the book, so I think I'm entitled to know why
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to!
You better get somewhere fast with this, Lieutenant.
What about this one, then? This lad here, he's 12 years old, he looks 48. What do you think?
No.
Why not, though? You said you didn't want to know any more about the juggler. You didn't say you didn't
I
want to know
know
any
what
more
I
about
said. I don't have to have it read back to me like
All right.
Lieutenant, do you have anything further for this witness?
Well, just wanted to know if you thought Mr. Webfoot at number 42 should have took up swimming, but...
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'd say that now, wouldn't you? Forget it.
Well, I don't know what to say, really. That's Karl Pilkington in the film A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson, acting alongside Jack, and I have to say, giving him a run for his money.
I think Karl is a really good actor. I genuinely think that. Should we put him in something?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
Right, what's the question?
What's his forte, do you think?
Just sort of, playing that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Deep stuff.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So
we can sort that out.
Think of a question there out of that little lot.
You've not got one?
Well, I've got, what, who was at number 36, whatever it was. What was it?
Dunno. Let's.
It was number 50, it was at number 50.
Yeah, alright then.
Okay.
Yeah, what, yeah.
What was odd about the guy who was at number 50 in the 50 weirdest people list?
And just text in, 83XFM and put your address on there as well and that.
What prizes are there, Carl?
Loads of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually not bad. There's Lord of the Rings on there. Michael Palin's Around the World in 80 Days. If you've not had a chance to see that yet, it's been repeated about 80 times. Look Around You, which is an excellent show. That's
it's brilliant.
Seen that. There's some other good, so that's not too bad. And also the relatively poor stand-up DVD, Ricky Gervais's live Animals show, which is mediocre.
Can't give him away.
Yeah.
Alright.
And you can win all those prizes if you can answer which question again?
Who was the fella who was at number 50 in my book? What was up with him?
Excellent.
Alright, so let's, got to play,
Thorns.
some Thorns.
That's the most beautiful track I can't get enough of this. You'll love it. You'll love it. Karl, come on, what's the matter with you?
Oh,
Thorns.
that's
No Blue Sky. Beautiful, isn't it? And that a great track.
alright, yeah.
Just had an email, yeah. That woman who opened the Office script could have her head cut off. Apparently. When a letter is posted, it becomes the property of the Queen until it reaches the person it was meant for. By opening it, she's committed treason and could be killed. I don't know if you're familiar with this story, Karl, are you?
Go on.
Apparently, some copies of the Office Christmas specials, scripts, got sent to the wrong address. Some woman. And, instead, I mean, I don't know what you do in that situation. Normally, if I get mail that's not addressed to me, I just give it to the postman or put it back in the postbox.
Radio 1 tried to speak to her, but apparently, she's got a gagging order, which makes us think that she sold it to the Sunday, so we'll read it. We'll read the plot of The Office tomorrow in the Sunday papers, which ruin it for some people.
Ruin it for a lot of people, yeah.
But the other thing is, I mean, if it was sent to her, obviously her name wasn't on it. If that's true, in which case, I think that's quite a serious offence, isn't it?
I would hope so. I mean, I would hope that, if I sent something in an envelope, it was...
But the BBC, the BBC, thinks that because the person they said it was meant to be sent to got his, he thinks maybe that's an excuse. Maybe someone gave her the script and said, don't say it came from me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe she's protected someone, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that is
well, either way, don't sell it to a newspaper.
Well, It's just the kind of mercenary nature of it that I loathe, you know, it's the fact that it's only just now, it makes me wonder if she had it there lying around in her house and someone said to her, well, why don't you go to the papers?
Yeah.
Try and flog it.
But I just don't think I don't think she's gonna get a lot for it, because people are gonna see it soon. It's not like it's the Hitler Diaries.
Well, they're not very well written.
But I mean, I don't know.
I tell you what I'm frustrated by, it's just the fact that it's like we've worked hard to give people some kind of pleasure for this Christmas, you know, because a lot of people are very depressed, Rick, very low at this time of year, they've not got what they wanted. But we're trying to cheer them up, give them a bit of happiness. Yeah,
but I think she'll be happy if she gets a lot of money.
True.
I don't know. I think it's just tacky, really.
It's like, well, I just say, if you're a fan of the show and you don't want to know what happens, then don't read the Sundays tomorrow, or at least avoid it when it says we tell you what happens.
But the papers might not ruin it. The papers might go, we've got them, but we're not going to ruin it for people.
Well,
That'd be a nice gesture. But
all I can say is it's a good job that I send out the prizes. Because that Michael Palin, Around the World in 80 Days, will be going to the person who won it.
Yeah.
And if someone else receives it, they better not try and, do you know what I mean, keep it. It should go to the winner.
Yeah, exactly. That is a very good point.
So...
be warned.
Don't open things that weren't addressed to you.
Yeah.
Pandora's box. There's some sort of lesson there.
Yeah.
What happened? All the evils of the world, wasn't it?
Pretty much.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, don't try and explain it to Karl.
No, Pandora's box.
Go on.
Well, told not to open it, opened it, released all the evils that are in the world now.
But did the person say if you open it, loads of evil will come out?
It's not true. It's not true. It didn't really happen. It's not like evolution. It's not the truth.
But you remember that? Yeah, you won't listen to some of my stuff. Like goldfish and stuff.
No, it's not that we don't listen to it. It's that you would pass off how all the evils in the world got here. Because on Ananova it would be, Pandora opens box.
Actually, speaking of headlines.
Oh, here we go. Okay, look, imagine if Pilkington was on News at 10, Okay.
We should just explain, you cannot be bothered to read an entire news story. You get everything you need from a headline, don't you?
Well, I think it's enough. I think if they did...
Well, let's see if this is enough. Let's see if
Right,
this,
okay.
if Trevor McDonald just read this on the news at 10, it'd be shorter and you get back to the football or whatever.
Yeah,
There we go. And here is the news at 2:15 with Karl Pilkington. Bong!
Man who walks backwards around lake falls in.
Bong!
Chinese woman eats dirt.
Bong!
Man lives in rubbish dump for 10 years.
Brilliant. Bong!
Czech family says they've got a rabbit with 3 knobs. Right?
Right.
Done.
Sorry, can you just read a little bit more of the Czech family with 3 knobs?
Just about a family.
Not read it to yourself. You get out on air.
Just about.
Well, he can't read it to himself. I told him to read it to himself. We still hear it.
No, he was, because I could see his lips moving.
Come on.
Just this fella who, had 3 rabbits.
Right, just think of this is Trevor McDonald.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on, Karl. Okay, oh, here's the news. Right, good, brilliant. Go on.
There's a fella, he's got 3 rabbits and that, and then, he checks them out, right?
Yeah.
2 of the rabbits have got 2 knobs each.
Right.
And he goes, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
Sure.
And they're throwing them around, sort of, chucking, you know, showing them around the family and stuff, saying, look at that, that's weird. Picks up the 3rd one, it's got 3.
Yeah.
So, they ate the 2 with 2, because they thought they best keep the 3rd one, because a little bit lucky in that.
Yeah.
It is lucky, 3 knobs there, yeah.
Now here's the sports news, and that's how it would work.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. Well, read about the Chinese woman who eats dirt. I'm interested in that.
Said. That's it, that is the story, isn't it? What more do you need to know? It's
Well,
just
I want to
saying,
know a little bit more. Can you just embellish it?
78-year-old Chinese woman, she says she's 78. Makes you wonder,
Yeah.
with my theory.
Karl's theory is that Chinese people don't age well, and so those Chinese people that say they're 112 are really only 33. That's why he doesn't want to be recognised, because he doesn't want to walk out from here into Chinatown.
Yeah.
Go on.
It just says she's been eating soil for 70 years, she's ate about 10 tons of the stuff, and it's done her no harm. Kept her grounded.
It's probably alright for you, isn't it? Because it passes through, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they say, don't they, if you're having a kid, let it play in soil and that, because,
Well, that's to get it immune, yeah, to get, yeah. But lots of, like, things with sort of, birds and reptiles sometimes swallow, soil and, stones, because it grinds up stuff, breaks down cellulose for them. Doesn't do any harm.
Right then.
One more fact from this book for you, Karl. Apparently, officially, the Second World War is not over. It's not actually over because there's never been an official treaty signed between Germany and Russia. So it's still going on. Interesting or not?
Not as good as the monkey one and
The woman who eats dirt.
and the Pete the Great and that.
Sure.
But yeah, it is over, isn't it? Isn't it though? That's what I mean about you annoying me with stuff that you go, oh, that's interesting. I don't think that is interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
There was what was it I learnt?
What was it I learned? Think of that as a question.
Well, we're all trying to figure that out.
Yeah, go on.
Leonardo,
DiCaprio?
the painter,
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci, he could write with one hand, draw with the other at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
It's alright.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's alright.
Well, if you have an interesting fact for Karl Pilkington that you think he might be intrigued by, email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
What have we got coming up? What have we got coming up?
More education stuff, some good tunes and that.
Yeah.
And bit of Outcast.
Yeah. Outcast. Hey Ya on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant. And over there, Karl Pilkington. Now we've got a new feature.
Well, I don't know if it should become a feature every week, Rick. I'm not sure it's got legs for that. But maybe in the absence of Rockbusters. Basically, I was looking through the pigeonhole, and we got a lot of stuff sent to us. A lot of junk. You know, stuff we don't really want.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, for some reason, they send
Begging letters.
Begging letters, a lot of that. We get sent a lot of CDs by people, bands, artists, who have not yet been signed. Maybe they've knocked something together in their bedroom. They got a band. And they just, for some reason, they want our feedback. They want us to sort of give them some thoughts on what they think, where they're going wrong, stuff like that. And I just thought, well, I was having a clear out, and I thought, why not just, give them a little chance, you know.
Yeah.
Just throw them a bone, Rick.
Honest critique?
Honest critique of some of the artists that sent us stuff.
Okay, go on
These are
then.
bands that have not been, they've not got a record contract.
This is exciting. Okay, name the 3 bands
Well,
first.
I'll tell you, no, we'll go through them individually, and I'll hear a little snatch, and then I'll get your opinions, both from you, Rick. I know you've been in the music business, you've got good general knowledge of music, you've got good taste.
Big time,
and
big
also
time.
Karl Pilkington's views as well.
Yeah.
We know what to think of them. So, this
Go on.
first band is called Kellerton Road. I'm sure they're very excited. As I said their name then, they probably can't believe it. They're phoning each other now, they're getting so excited.
All friends are phoning them now.
Yeah,
Turn your
exactly.
phone off.
They
The
can't
people in
believe
this
that.
band, you don't want to...
Yeah.
Well, okay then, Kellerton Road.
Kellerton Road, play a track from them. So that's Kellerton Road, I think that's a track called Secretly. And looking on the back here, there's 6 of them in the band, they all pretty much look the same. They've got the long hair, the usual sort of look. What do you make of them, Rick?
Alright.
Yeah? Quite like
Yeah,
that?
good, yeah. I mean, bit generic, the chorus was a little bit simplistic, but I like good production, good,
Yeah.
good
Reminds me of
musicianship.
something maybe like the Thrills, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, good.
Jukebox or junk box?
What's the junk box?
It's just, I'm just trying to make it sound snappy. Jukebox or junk box?
Don't. Because you haven't got it. Don't ever. Stick to what you're good at.
Okay.
Um,
What, being sexy?
just sort of watching Doctor Who and stuff. You like that, don't
Yeah,
you?
I love it.
Okay then, right, what's the next one?
So, well, let's just ask Karl Pilkington's opinion. Karl, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's it, is it?
Yep.
Is that why you're no longer right for the enemy?
Go
So
on.
what's this next one you've got for us then, Karl?
Toffee.
Toffee.
It's called Born Depressed.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
Is it about you? There we
I
are,
quite
Toffee.
like that.
Yeah?
That's sort of bit glammy, bit underground. Yeah.
What do you make of the name, Toffee?
I don't like the name.
It's not great, is it?
No, but I quite like that track.
Quite like the track.
If
I'm just
that's
looking at the
representative.
CD, they've made it themselves, and basically the band feature on there completely nude.
Oh.
What do you...
Well, we know what we think of that. What do you think of that, Karl?
I'm happy with that. Let's have a look though.
Have a look there.
That's no point, is it?
There's quite a lot of blokes and there's one naked lady.
Oh, just having a look though, just...
Yeah.
What are you looking at the blokes? What are you looking at? Why are you looking at the blokes?
Let's
Knob.
just having a look.
But you're looking at the knob. I can see by the way your eyes are
I'm
looking.
looking at the woman's knob though.
Well, she won't be happy with that.
No, that's a bloke, Karl.
Yeah, that's where you've been going wrong.
Yeah, that's the woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was looking at, that one. The woman's knob, so that's alright.
Yeah. Good.
So Rick, hit parade or shit parade?
I don't know if it's gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be a hit yet, because I haven't got backup, but I think we're looking more about whether they get,
A record deal. Do you think they deserve one?
Yeah, yeah, thumbs up for both of them.
Okay,
well
excellent.
done.
Alright, well done. And Karl, play the last one then. What did you make of it? Sorry, we didn't ask your opinion, we weren't interested.
Like to see him on CD UK. Just like that on the CD cover.
Okay, okay.
And this last act, I think, is this right? Picture Centre?
Yeah.
Picture Centre.
Like next door's babe. The star of today was lyrics Life should just start.
Picture Centre.
My favourite.
You like that?
Yeah, that's my favourite out of all of them. Good, there's a bit of Amy Mann in there.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit Cocteau Twins.
Yeah,
yeah, no, really good. I really like, really good, really intriguing that.
Karl
Yeah.
Pilkington?
Yeah, it's alright.
If you didn't like it, what would you say?
It's weird though, isn't it, music? No, do you know what I mean? It's like, it depends what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? That's alright. If you're just having a game of crib or whatever, it's just on in the background. That's the thing with music. I don't think you can sort of slag any of it off. It's times, and it's depends what mood you're in and stuff.
Yeah.
So
So this is
it's
a pointless
pointless.
feature. It's a pointless
Points
feature.
for you. We'll do it
well, I
again
didn't come up with it.
No, I don't. Alright, don't slag it off.
then. Okay, we'll do that again then. I was quite enjoying that, but okay.
No, do you understand what I'm saying?
Well,
That it's not worth having an opinion about music.
Well, I'm not that bothered. I'm just saying,
Imagine if he was on the panel of Fame and Gallery or Pop Idol.
Yeah.
That'd be great. He'd go along, and Nicky Chapman go, yeah, you've really improved. I really like that. I don't know what you're wearing. Dr. Fox, you were hot, baby. I loved it. Like your legs, like all your boobs and all that. Brilliant. Come to Karl. Not bothered. Alright.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
no, we'll keep it up, you know.
Play a record.
Yeah.
Jet. And roll over DJ on XFM 104.9. Alright?
Karl, just an email. A question for you. Can you please let me know which school Karl went to? What school do you go to?
Cessav.
What?
Cessav.
Cessav?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It was on Cecil Avenue.
Cecil Avenue in Manchester.
Yeah.
It's just he says, I'd like to know so that I don't send my kids to the same place. He also says, he says, P.S. Does Karl look like Gollum in Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, in fact, I was just putting a little bald wig on you, wasn't I?
Like he needs one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you
Just
want
some
a
of the fun
picture...
and games we have when the songs are on.
Yeah, did it hurt?
Just a little bit. The bit that worried me is when you said, let me just staple it.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get it under your chin because it looked funnier. And he was scared. Oh. I remember, do you remember I did that thing with the tea towel? Have you told Steve about that?
I don't think I have. It's not something I'd shout about, to be honest.
Go on.
Went round his place. And he said, oh, before you go, I must try something.
Because I couldn't get squeezing hard enough. I can't, because I'm not strong enough to hurt him anymore now, or am I?
I think I can take it a bit more than I could at the start.
Yeah, so I wanted to squeeze his head more, so what did I do?
So he said, just hang on, I've got a tea towel. He brought a tea towel in now. I need something sort of long and thin. What can I get? He's asking his girlfriend, where's that? Comes in with a spatula. Right? He puts the tea towel on my head, and manages to sort of put the spatula in and turn it round so that the tea towel is tightening on my head.
Yeah.
Using little pressure, would you say, from you?
Yeah, just little, it's brilliant, it's like a tourniquet, and I just turned it a little bit, and he screamed almost straight away, didn't you?
It hurts. But I don't, but why did you think that was good? When would you need to use that tool?
And yeah, I did it on my other bald mate, Rob, who was over, and he screamed as well. Because he just put a tea towel round, like a little bandana, just stick the wooden spoon down the back, just turn it, and it's even half a turn, isn't it? And it really...
Hopefully children listening will be trying that on their phones.
No, they won't. Don't try that at home.
I've got another fact for you, Karl. Might be of interest to you, just the final one. The ancient Babylonians had What?
Can I just stop you there? What's a Babylonian?
My head's gonna burst! What do you mean, what's a Babylonian?
I've never heard of one.
No, but we'll work out, what's an Evertonian?
Someone who supports Everton?
Well, or from?
From Liverpool?
Yeah, so what's a Babylonian?
He's from Baba.
Yeah, well anyway, some people from Baba, ancient Baba, they didn't have very many doctors in those days, alright? Because they felt that illnesses should be left to the wisdom of the public, right? So if you were sick, okay, you were placed in the city centre, right? And then a passerby...
Outside Baba.
Outside Baba. And, a passerby who had suffered from the same ailment, or who had seen it treated in the past, they would pass by, they would give them advice on how to be cured. Do you understand? So there'd be no doctors, just people passing by would see, they'd say, what's wrong with you? And they'd say, well, blah, 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 I've had the same thing, here's some advice. And pedestrians were forbidden to pass such an individual without inquiring about the complaint and prescribing for it if they knew how to.
So hang on, so there's someone ill.
Yeah.
It's outside the town hall.
Yeah.
People walk past, go, what's up with you? They go, oh, my foot hurts, and they go, you've got to do this to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And were they ever right?
Well, what do you mean?
Were they ever right?
Well, how do we know?
What are you telling me?
What?
What have you just told me? What am I meant to take from that? You just said strangers sort of say, you've got that wrong with you.
I think he's sulking. I don't think he's ever going to take anything we tell him again because we don't.
No, but I don't
like the fact
understand
that goes, monkeys can do armed robberies, and we go, no, they can't.
I don't understand what the problem is.
But how is that different from telling me that a Chinese woman ate dirt? How is that not the same sort of thing?
Because that's weird. Someone sat in Trafalgar Square going, I've got a headache and I go take some Nurofen, isn't shocking. I'm not a doctor. I've given a bit of advice.
But neither is the dirt lady. She's not particularly interesting. Neither of them are particularly interesting. I'm just trying to give you an example of the same sort of drivel you feed us every week.
Would you sort of have tea round at her house? It's weird. The Chinese woman.
Right, so it's weird. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. It's weirdness that you're interested in.
See, I thought that you were actually interested in sort of interesting sort of stuff.
But if it's weird, it helps.
If it's weird, it helps.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be major news. The other day there was something about, this fella who, I think he wanted to be an actor, right? And, he was trying all his life to be an actor. Couldn't get a gig anywhere, right? So when he died, he said, right, I'm gonna leave all my money to the theatre as long as that theatre uses my skull in that play they do with the head.
Hamlet.
In Hamlet. So that's that sort of news. And it's weird.
Right.
What money did he have if he'd been struggling actor?
He had some money in that.
What did he do?
I don't know.
Oh, that's what I'm interested in, what he did. Yeah, that's what me and Steve...
Yeah,
that's what me and Steve are interested in, what he did, how he earned his money.
So, because you were going to educate us this week with some interesting facts.
Oh, yeah, come on then.
Is that it, or have you got more?
Well, that's weird.
But that's not educational. You didn't give me his name, you didn't give me when, you didn't give me what theatre.
No, but also to take from it. Do you know what I mean? If people listening and go, well, I'm a bit like that, it's like if you've got to be dead and have your skull on stage, that isn't a job for you. That's what I'm saying. If it takes that much, give it up, do something else. Right? What else have I taught you?
I don't know.
You haven't taught us, you've never taught me anything.
See, we'll just have to sort of...
What, agree to disagree?
Right. I don't know what you can sort of learn from this.
Go on then.
7-Up, the drink.
Yeah.
Right. We're actually on air now, aren't we?
Yeah, this is
right,
it.
Okay,
This is it, baby.
This is a radio show that we're paid
Forget
for.
that then, forget
No,
that.
come on, 7-Up.
It's not really... Not
It's not
important.
it's not interesting or
Go on,
important.
no, come on then.
The little red dot, that's above the 7 on the can, you know, it says 7 up and there's a little red dot.
Yeah.
That red dot's there because the creator of it, was an albino, and he had red eyes. And he had that little thing there as his little trademark.
Is that true?
It's true.
That's quite interesting.
Right then. So that's what I'm saying. It's not that important, but it's interesting.
If it's true, that's interesting.
It isn't, it's true and it's interesting.
Okay, that's good. You know, Coke used to contain, real cocaine?
Well, they used to be medicines, didn't they?
Tonics, yeah.
No, they were medicines. I read that, tomato ketchup and Coca-Cola started off as medicines.
Probably not a medicine, probably more of a tonic, because it's probably a pick-me-up, wasn't it? If I had Coke in it and caffeine and sugar, and same as ketchup, probably lots of vitamin C and lots of sugar, it was probably more of a tonic. It wasn't really a medicine. They didn't say, cancer? Have this on your chips.
It's some HP.
Wasn't a medicine, it was...
Well, it was, kind of.
Alright, okay, let's agree to disagree on that particular one.
Okay, alright, yeah.
Is that it, Karl?
What else?
You've
Any other
educated us
facts?
this week. You've given us a 7-Up thing, okay.
I've told you about the goldfish.
Not really, but yeah.
You didn't tell us anything about goldfish. This is your fact, right? You know what? Goldfish might have longer memories than some people think. That's not a fact. That under no circumstances would imagine Magnus Magnuson saying, what animals might have longer memories than most people think? This is goldfish, correct? Imagine that as a question. How is that a fact?
If you ever have children, are you going to educate them with this kind of drivel? Is this how you're going to raise your kids? So their minds just pumped full of
That'd
this
be my
rubbish?
job. I'd keep them interested with stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Suzanne does the proper stuff.
Yeah. So you agree there is some proper stuff?
Yeah, but I wouldn't make him do it. I'd just sort of leave the book there, and then if he read it, I'd go, that's good, that is...
What book would you think, what, the 50th freakiest people ever to be born?
Give him that to start with.
What would you tell me your favourite was? The little fella who was playing the keyboard?
That or the three-legged fella.
Yeah, okay. So he's learnt that. That's the first day at school. What would you teach him the second day at school?
I don't know, because
Why do owls have to turn 180 degrees to look the other way?
Because they've got big eyes.
Yeah, and what's that mean?
What do you mean, what's it mean?
Can I just... I don't think you should have children.
Well, Suzanne's always saying, you know, she'd like to hear tiny feet running around the flat. Stuff. I just said, let's get a little midget cleaner.
Right, haven't got long. You better give the winner. We got monkey news coming up.
We haven't really got any monkey news.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
There's nothing going on, seriously.
What do you mean?
The last few weeks I've keep telling you.
No, right. This really annoys me when you say there's something going on, because you call it monkey news, but it's not monkey news. You have stories, dubious stories. But shut up a minute, about it's always chimps, which annoys me you call it monkey, because they're apes, right? And it's often from the 18th century, so it's not news anyway, so don't tell me there's no monkey news
what I'm
this
saying
week.
is, if there's monkey news worth doing, I'll know about it. And there isn't anything, so let's leave it.
Right, okay, you are going to give me some monkey news, I'm telling you, you are going to give me some monkey news, or we're not leaving.
Right, well, my mum sent me some. Right. I got a little letter from her doing the usual sort of stuff, telling me what she's been up to and that. It was a little thing about, somewhere in Lincolnshire or something.
Right,
to do a bit of monkey throwing.
What do you mean?
Because some fella got attacked by one once. And sort of to remember him, on this certain day, they go, oh, it was today, wasn't it? And that fella got attacked by a little monkey and that. And something about chucking monkeys about.
That's horrible.
I don't know if they're real, I think it's just like to remember.
Alright.
But that's the only sort of stuff that's knocking about out there.
But it's not, that's not
I've got my mum
news.
and dad on it, looking all the time for stuff.
There must be more monkey news than that.
There isn't nothing I mean, there's bits and pieces. There was a bit about Donna Eyre, how when she has a kid, she's gonna let a gorilla look after it for a week or something. But apart from that, it's dead out there.
Well, I don't know what that means.
She's, well, that's it. Apparently,
well, it's not true. She's not gonna let a gorilla look after a child.
No, it is. Apparently, a fella works with him or something. And,
this is rubbish!
It's not rubbish.
How can she let a gorilla look after a baby for a week?
Well, forget it.
Sorry, have you ever heard her speak? Can I just give you a little fact here? Someone's emailed in for you, Karl. They've sent an interesting fact for you. I think you're going to be interested in this. Don't read it on the email. Let me read it for you. I think you'll be excited. An interesting fact from Karl. That's from Toby. He says, Attila the Hun punished some fella who annoyed him by cutting off his arms and legs. You'll love this. And stitching his arms back where his legs should be. And vice versa. Look at his face. Look at the little smile that's just cracked on his lips. That is the kind of fact you've been waiting for all day, isn't it?
So go on, again, so...
Attila the Hun, right? Some guy didn't like. He cut off his arms and his legs, and he stitched his legs on where his arms should be, and his arms where his legs should be. Look at him looking at his body, trying to picture it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let it sink in for a little while, then I'll ruin it for him. Karl, what are you thinking?
I'm just picturing it.
Right, he would have died. It would have been tokenistic. There's no way that person could have lived through it. So, it was just for the Hun's fun. He probably put him on a stick outside his gate or something. There's no way, in those days, that he could have gone through complete limb amputation and...
So would he have wore a jumper for pants?
Who's the winner of the competition?
From Walthamstow, it's Joe Ogden. Well done, Joe. You got the correct answer, which was what? The
fella with two heads at number 50.
Number 50. Is that it? Are we off?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Alright, cheers. More of the same drivel next week.
Bye. Bye. Jet, are you going to be my girl on XFM 104.9? I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. Over there, little roundy bald head of Karl Pilkington. Good news and bad news. Good news is, boys are back in town, we're here for 2 hours.
Hello.
Bad news is, we have no monkey news, gay fella news, or little Chinese fella news.
Really?
We're going to try and, leave that for a week, and then maybe come back to it.
Yeah. Why do I get the feeling that within 20 minutes we'll be talking about little gay Chinese monkeys?
Karl, think of that.
We have got monkey news.
Have we?
Oh, yeah.
So we've already broken that promise.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to try and sort of talk about something else. I've just done Jonathan Ross show, and they don't talk about the same things every week. It's weird. It is weird. But, or, as Karl says, weird innit?
Yeah.
So, gave this show about 5 plugs.
Nice one.
Yeah. So, I think we'll get upward of 800 people listening.
Oh, double.
For the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then turning back.
They're already switching over.
I'd have thought so, yeah.
I spoke to my friend yesterday. He's a little bit of an odd fella, and he said that for his own amusement, he had an iPod in his car, and he bought a little sort of transmitter. and he could transmit the music from his iPod to sort of just beam it, kind of as he was driving along, to sort of passing cars.
What do you mean?
It's
Make
weird.
their radio play it?
Well, but if they had it in the right frequency, yeah. I mean, pointless, completely pointless, but not dissimilar to this show, I imagine, in terms of the number of listeners.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, what's the chances of people having this frequency
Absolutely
on?
pointless.
So it's probably about the same, yeah.
Do you know what it reminds me of? When I was young, I wanted to get into radio, I was excited in radio, when I was sort of in my, I don't know, I was 11 or 12, my friend and I, we got a little mixing deck, and we used to host our own radio show.
Brilliant.
From his bedroom. We didn't have a transmitter, so we'd put some speakers in his front garden, in some bushes, and sort of broadcast it to people who were walking
Again,
by.
probably over the week more listeners than this show.
Almost certainly.
Yeah,
I love the idea. It never happened, but I always was hoping that maybe some girls would just come by and just like sit and listen. These guys are great. I don't know where these sounds are coming from. It seems to be that bush, but
Or Noel Edmonds coming along going, who are these guys?
yeah.
Can you get on my breakfast show?
Can they stand in for me when I go on holiday?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did I say I did sort of pirate radio?
No, go on.
Got into hospital.
yeah, the normal radio, but you had an eye patch on. Go on.
Dad was in hospital, right? And, he was having some operation done, right? And, went to see him. And didn't have that much to say to him, right? So I was sat there. Well, it's awkward though, isn't it, when someone's ill?
Yeah.
Sure. And you don't know.
Boring, isn't it? Boring.
So I was flicking around on that little radio thing they have.
Yeah.
And he had a radio station in the hospital, so I said, oh, I'm gonna go and join this. So I wandered off to go and find it.
Yeah.
Sort of joined that. Did a little show on there. Thought I can sort of get out to the masses here. My mate made a little transmitter. Did a little pirate radio show from the, got kicked out because they found out, and apparently I put the station at risk because all the stuff could have been taken off us.
But from Little Acorn, 16 years later, he's on a show with less listeners.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Can you imagine if you've gone into hospital, you're already pretty depressed, there's the fear of these super bugs in the hospital.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got some quite serious illness, you know,
Yeah.
you don't know if you're gonna make it. His voice is what you hear to cheer you up.
Alright, weird, isn't it? I saw a programme about a parasite the other night. Yeah. Apparently, they get in through your eye and eat their way up through your genitals. Anyway,
You
here's
think you've got it
Radiohead.
bad?
Yeah, exactly. Play a record, Karl.
Stone Roses, yeah?
Oh, Fool's Gold. Classic. Stone Roses. Fool's Gold. XFM, 104.9. Brilliant.
Can't help but notice you've brought some sandwiches in, Rick. What's in there?
Cheese and onion.
Cheese onion?
Yeah.
Because I've never ever seen you make sandwiches before. I've seen you take a piece of bread out of a loaf
Yeah.
and sort of fold it in half. Crumbs everywhere.
Well, Jane made that for me because I was in a bit of a hurry.
I didn't think for a minute that you
Why?
made
Because it looks
yourself.
neat.
Well, they're wrapped in the tin foil. A knife has been used.
As opposed to chewing round
Yeah,
the baguette.
exactly,
Yeah, breaking it in half.
Yeah.
A la Albert Steptoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Nice.
It's great, but the onions are strong.
Are they?
Making my eyes water.
Yeah.
If I come and breathe on you,
Yeah.
it'll cure any sort of skin disease you might have. Skin disease. We watched that, Karl, you know, that Karl was raving about that thing about parasites, about worms coming out your brain and that. And I watched
What is this? Is it a TV show?
Yeah, called Body Snatchers.
Right.
And it was pretty fascinating. And, I mean, amazingly shot as well. I mean, it's got to win an award for photography.
Yeah.
And there was, one bit that, this little girl had been bitten by a mosquito and it laid her eggs and it went to the doctor. She had a lump on her neck, like a boil. And, they pulled it out and it was like a bullet, this maggot.
Oh.
And they put it down and it was wriggling in her blood, right? But the hole left was sort of aesthetically pleasing. You know, like that feeling you get, like, I once had ingrown hair, and I quite liked it when I pulled it out. And it's a perfect little hole. And I thought, I wouldn't mind having those, as long as they sort of, like, healed over.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, it's weird, isn't it?
But why would you want a hole in your body?
No, it's got pulling something out, sort of like pulling something out of your body. It's
I
sort of
don't know what you're
cleansing,
talking
isn't it? No, but it's sort of like, I don't know what it
This is it. You watch one programme recommended to you by Karl. You've turned into Karl. You want a hole in your body?
No, it was like, you know, like squeezing a really good sort of like spot. I mean, I haven't squeezed spots for ages, and I'd never had spots, but maybe that's it. I didn't have spots.
Right.
And I always thought that'd be nice, squeezing a spot.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why
I
would
don't
these
know.
things
I
be
don't know what I'm
pleasurable?
talking
Why would an ingrowing hair? That's
Yeah, it
great
was good.
fun.
That was good, because I got it, it was like a little lump, and I pulled it, and then it pulled out, and it was like, left a little
I know
hole.
what you mean.
Did
Because I get thick hairs
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Oh, when they come out, it's like a bit of wax.
Yeah.
Like putting out a little candle.
And
I
that's-
love that.
What?
Yeah.
Because I've got not much hair on my head,
No.
right? It sort of grows thicker on my face.
No, not true.
Sure, but go on.
Yeah.
No, it does.
Not true, baby. Go on. No evidence for that. Just made it up.
So it grows sort of thicker on my neck and that, and now and again I'll see like something that's like a twig. Right, it's really thick.
Yeah, you feel it, and then you think, oh, I'm gonna have that, and then you work at it, and then when you get hold of it, it's brilliant. It's like pulling out, it's fantastic. It's waxy and build up, and it pulls it out, and it stretches your skin, and it leaves a hole.
I've just realised why we talk about Chinese people, monkeys and gays every week.
Why?
Because this is a sort of replacement. This is what we've got, if we're not talking about them.
But it was great as well, and there's this parasite, right, that lives in a fish, right? And what it does, it changes the fish's behaviour. Because to breed, it has to get its body temperature up, so it has to get into a bird. Right?
What needs to get into the bird?
The
fish?
parasite. The
parasite needs to get into a bird, right.
So it changes the behaviour of the stickleback, and it makes the stickleback sort of suicidal. So the stickleback doesn't flee when it sees a heron, it gets caught.
Right.
Because this stickleback has changed its behaviour. Carl didn't quite understand this,
I
did
still don't really get it. I watched it, and you see like the fat fish and that, and you go, oh, it's not well. But I don't understand.
Well, all it does is, it has to get into a bird, because it has to breed, to lay its eggs, it has to have a raise of body temperature, so it has to, the fish is cold-blooded, so it has to get into a bird which is warm-blooded. There's lots of things, there's certain things at that level.
Why is it doing that?
Because it needs the temperature, it needs the heat energy for its reaction. Just like, for example, that's why your balls are on the outside. Because the cells have to be a certain temperature to survive. I don't know if it's the sperm or Sertoli cells, but they have to be a couple of degrees below body temperature. Otherwise, they'd be in a nice cage and we wouldn't get kicked in the nads.
What do you mean?
That's why your testicles are on the outside of your body. They have to be a couple of degrees below body temperature.
Yeah, but it's not, that isn't why they're there. You see, this is like the chat we had last week about the giraffe having a long neck.
What do you mean?
They're there because that's where they happen to be. They didn't go, right.
Well, that's what evolution is. It's a selection process. It's not a will. The balls didn't say, look, I'm too hot, let's get us outside, let's get outside of here!
Alright, hang on a minute then.
What?
So a little man monkey, right? Theirs are in the same place as ours.
Yeah.
But they're walking around naked, so it could be anywhere. They could be like on the back. It doesn't matter where they are.
They call it, well, they could be on the back, yeah.
So why aren't they?
This is a completely different... Steve!
You started it! I'm washing my hands of the whole affair.
And we're not only back to balls, but we're back to monkey balls.
Yes.
In one thing from about parasites, we're back to monkey ball news.
Yeah.
How do we get back to chimp testicle news?
Alright then, so this worm's in a fish.
Yeah. It's like a little platyhelminth. I think it's some sort of...
But what I mean is, why are they about?
What do you mean? They
Why?
evolved.
But why haven't they died out?
Because they're very successful.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? What do you mean, yeah? Tell me the brain event that made you say yeah in that 1 second gap.
Because in a way I don't get it, and if I think about it too much, it hurts a bit.
They've just been around for years, Karl.
Yeah.
Like Cliff Richard or something like that. Yeah.
Forget About Tomorrow by Feeder on XFM 104.9. Karl is in some pain now, isn't he?
What angers me is the fact that the listeners, at least they get a record. They get 3 minutes where they can just relax. They don't have to listen to this drivel. I've got to sit here for another 3 minutes while you try and explain to this idiot why they have a parasites and why we have fish and why, you know. It's just interminable.
Oh, Karl's question is, what's the point of a parasite? I was saying, well, they evolved alongside everything else, and it's part of the ecosystem. He's going, but why is a parasite in a fish, in a heron, back in a fish? And I said, what's the point in anything, right, apart from the balance of the ecosystem that survives at any time? And then Steve went, Karl, you should have done this when you were in sixth form.
Yeah.
Questioning the point of life.
Yeah,
and
you should have
existence.
had these existential questions, you know, when you were younger.
Did you ever used to lay awake at night thinking, where did the universe end?
No.
I did that when I was about 6 or 7 for about a year. When someone said it was...
He was lying awake at night thinking, where does Manchester end? I assume it goes on forever.
They've made a map, haven't they, for the for the universe?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, as far as they can, yeah.
Big, is it?
It's massive.
Yeah.
But if you're that lost, do you know what I mean? Forget the
map's
map.
not going to help you. Sure.
If you're that lost, forget it. Look, we're never going to make it. We're not going to live 400 light years. We're not going to... Of course, you could take a shortcut through a wormhole, couldn't you?
What's that?
Oh, no, no, no! No! Let's not talk about the universe, please. Let's talk about something that you could comprehend, Karl.
Well,
Were
listen.
you on Richard and Judy yesterday?
Alright.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It was good. It was good fun.
Yeah?
It was a bit surreal.
Is it?
Yeah. It's nice. That's nice though. There's something charming about them. Do you know what I mean? They go off on tangents. They sort of digress. They suddenly think of something. She suddenly go, oh, my jumper's itching or something. You know.
Yeah.
And it's quite charming. It's not annoying at all.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen them do it through before. And I hope I didn't insult them because I said it was like an adult Blue Peter.
Right.
But
In what way?
well, they had a Christmas wrapping competition.
Right.
Then they had
a Christmas wrapping competition.
and then they had
That wasn't them doing kind of
then they
hip-hop.
had what the French people are like. There was a little didn't quite understand that living in France. Then they had a woman who relived an Elizabethan Christmas. The bit that made me laugh was she was sort of announcing this through an Elizabethan microphone and PA to all the people sitting around dressed as.
I'm a bit confused. Like, this sounds fascinating.
It was good though. And at the end I said, next week I'll be washing a tortoise and that.
Yeah.
And the producer said, if you do want to make something for the show, we'll definitely feature it. So I might make some of those things that you spoke on Blue Peter, like send in, sort of, you know, I remember, they made a chest of drawers out of 3 matchboxes.
Yeah.
For Barbie doll or something, or Action Man.
I seem to remember them showing you how to make a dusty bin once.
What, on
Yeah.
Blue Peter?
I made one. I remember making one.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched Blue Peter, obviously, for, like, 25 years,
Yeah.
but is it the same sort of thing?
I think it's pretty much the same now, yeah. They sort of, occasionally they'll have kind of, larger sort of dramatic scenes, so that all the cast will kind of act out sort of murder mysteries and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bit more of that going
Do
on.
they
There's
still
a
have
lot
the
more
Kodo drummers from Japan over?
I think the Kodos come on like twice a week.
With the shiniest buttocks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Greased, they're in like sort of nappies or whatever they call them, and they're playing the drums, and you see them from behind playing these big drums, and they've got shiny buttocks. The lights really pick up their arses.
I think because they've kind of funked it up since we were younger, because I remember it was always stuff like, let's have a look at this traction engine.
Yeah.
Or let's drive some traction engines, one very small, a
Yeah.
slightly larger one, then a really
Exactly.
larger one, and we'll just drive them around the studio
No,
for a
so
bit.
you're going up Nelson's column with Shep.
Yeah.
You might die, you might not.
But I always wondered if perhaps the people in charge were not perhaps down with the kids when they were saying,
I
what
think
are we
they
going to do
were.
this week? Let's have a look around a traction engine.
Exactly.
That's what the kids of the
but
early
it
80s
was,
want.
But it was, they did used to sneak in education, whereas Magpie, that was just like funky people who were sort of really in the 70s.
Never watched Magpie.
No, I know
watched
I got it wrong as well. I did used to watch it, but I used to watch Blue Peter. I think I was conned.
I always feared, because see, with the Blue Peter, I felt like I was learning something. I imagine on Magpie it was just, you know, Mr. T came round and, or whatever. It was a lot more cool, was it?
It was,
and hip
it was a
and-
little bit more cool, yeah, and a lot more throwaway, and it was sort of like, Magpie was sort of like Looking
Right,
on
yeah.
telly.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
What happened to Looking?
Don't know, it should be the Junior TV Times, I don't know. There's probably people listening who've never even heard of
Is that
Looking.
what it was?
Apparently so.
But there was cartoons and things.
Yeah, it was just basically an advert for ITV, Looking.
Oh, was it?
Almost entirely, yeah.
And did it have like a Laurel and Hardy strip or something?
No, it would have things like the story of 5 Star,
Really?
and,
Is it
things
like,
that.
is it like the ones in the News of the World?
Not dissimilar.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hey, I've had 5 kids. Next picture. Bought one of them a guitar.
Yeah.
Next one. We're at number 7.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Next week, Tina Turner.
I love the fact that 5 Star is still touring. There's only 3 of them now.
Really?
They're still called 5 Star.
Really? Yeah, I thought there was 4 Boney M's at one point. Tribute acts, that each one of them had a... And then there was a 5th, who was someone who wasn't the original member of one of the Boney M's, who set up a splinter group. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know how many there are now. I was thinking, what we should do on this show as well, is have a doctor.
Right,
Just sit in the
you're
corner.
worried about your health?
No, just so when Karl says, why are your bollocks there, the doctor can now go, well, let's ask doctor.
Right.
And he goes, they're there because I know. And we need a
Is
vet
Dr.
as well.
Fox available?
we need a doctor, probably a vet, some sort of vet, or a naturalist would be good. And what else? Oh, and a physicist or something, or an astronomer. What do you think, Karl?
I'd love that.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Is there any doctors listening? Of course there are, as if a doctor would listen to this. If you are a doctor, I want a qualified doctor. I don't mean someone who's in their 2nd year at medical school. We're not interested in that. Right, a qualified doctor, a GP, or any specialist, and you maybe want to contribute regularly, give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll even give you a special phone line and stuff.
Yeah.
Not for now, though. We're going to get a lot of mentalists, aren't
I
we?
would adopt a nom de plume, an alternative, identity, because your patients are going to flee if they find out you listen to this.
Exactly. What's the phone number, Karl?
Well, they might as well just email in with the number, mightn't they?
That's because you don't like answering the phone.
No, I just think it's a better way of doing it.
Okay, how can they prove they are a doctor?
Just,
Go on, Karl.
Something to do with,
Go on.
Go on.
Something to do with,
What thing could they say that we'd say, well, he's definitely a doctor, or we wouldn't know that? Think of something.
well, I'm not a doctor, so...
We're on the radio, Carl. When we ask you a question, you've got to speak.
I know, I'm just thinking, I don't know how you'd know, because you never ask them, do you? If you need their help, you don't think of going, no, before you do this, do you know what you're doing? But saying that, right?
Go on. Go on.
Talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it now? Listen, I tell you, no, listen. Do you want, alright,
Alright, no, come on, alright, he's got it now.
Go on.
This fella goes to the doctors,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, right, okay. Right, if this is in any way apocryphal, stupid, illogical, impossible, right, you are never, ever speaking again on radio. So make sure this is at least possible. I'll tell you what, I'll even give you improbable, but possible. So if anything that breaks the laws of the universe, or logic, okay, that's all you have to avoid. On you go.
Right, so this fella, right, he goes to the doctors because he's got earache.
Right. Okay, if a chimp's living in his brain, that he go on.
So he's got earache, he's sat in the waiting room and his ear's all bunged up and it's hurting a lot and what have you. So the doctor comes out and he goes, right, and because his ear's all bunged up, he doesn't hear it that well, right? So he thinks it must have been me, right? So he wanders in.
Keep going.
Anyway,
I'm gonna hate this. I can just feel it in my bones. Steve, I'm gonna let you take over. Okay,
Let's hear it. Come
so
on.
the doctor says, sit yourself down there, right? So he sits himself down, he goes, right, take your pants off, right? So he's thinking, that's a bit odd. Anyway, he heard
that though.
He apparently he took his tackle off. The doctor, like, did some operation.
What, there in the waiting room?
No, in his office.
In his office, yeah.
What?
Wait, so he removed what? His genitals?
Yeah.
In his office?
Why, Karl?
Because he hadn't called him in.
Oh, he'd called in the bloke who wanted his testicles taken off, and he didn't do it. What? So the doctor went out and said, Mr. Jones, who's here to whip off your cock and balls, just here and now, right? Bloke comes in, it must have been me. So the bloke who wanted his balls taken off didn't say, oh, I think he said me. So he didn't interrupt then. So the bloke goes in, he starts taking his testicles off, and he doesn't say, I'm here for me ears. It's a new single from Snow Patrol and Run. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Good stuff.
On XFM 104.9.
Rick.
Go on.
I'm about to say 3 little words to you that I've never said to anyone before.
Go on.
Karl is right.
On what, though?
From Reuters, someone's emailed in, a Brazilian man who went to a clinic to have an aching ear checked ended up having a vasectomy after mistakenly believing that the doctor had called his name. He had gone in there, entered the vasectomy room when he was called. He was called by the full name and yet thought it was him, but the strangest thing is that he asked no questions when the doctor started preparations in the area which had so little to do with his ear. He later explained that he thought it was an ear inflammation that had got down to his testicles. And, the fellas came off. Extraordinary.
Right?
I'm stunned.
Amazing, isn't it?
But there's lots of things that keep coming true with Karl's nonsense. There's a programme on next week. The boy who gave birth to his twin.
Oh.
And he's there, he's like pregnant with his thing, you know.
How long ago did we do that?
Yeah, you discussed that years ago.
When I talked about it, it was a baby who had a baby. Now it's a boy who's like a grown man and that. It's took them ages to sort that out. I did it in one link one Saturday. With the full story. Right? Keeps happening. We've done like Donald McIntyre's thing, right? He's been ripping us off. I did Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
He's been doing it.
No, he hasn't.
He has. He's done some programme about how much it costs to get a monkey and that.
Right.
What else have we done?
He believes this.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff we've done like that.
You had the maggot coming out of the head? I laughed at you, yeah. Didn't in the programme, didn't see him wrapping the head in bacon, but, I mean, the principle's there.
Bob Holness has ripped off Rockbusters.
Yeah, and he ripped you off years ago.
Yeah.
He's been ripping you off for years, which is even more annoying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yesterday, you know, Rich and Judy gave you the, tea picked by monkeys.
Yeah.
I told you about that. either last week or the week before.
Yeah, and then you also told me that there's a place where they grow coffee, where the weasels come out and eat the coffee, right? But they have too much of it, get dysentery and vomit, and they sell the vomit because it makes the coffee smoother.
Weasel vomit.
Yeah. Absolute shiz.
It's not.
Right.
When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
Well, it's the way you'd say it.
yeah.
No,
Why do they keep taking the coffee? Probably
you
addicted
get
to
addicted to it, don't you? Caffeine and that.
it. Yeah. Why do they stick it up then? Do they have too much?
They're tired, they can't sleep. They sort of... So they get ill, it eventually wears them down, they're sick, and then they sell it.
I showed those there's people saying monkey news all the time for Karl, and I showed him one earlier, which said there's a new monkey hospital that's been opened.
Yeah. Karl,
Now, that's
immediately...
for the treatment of monkeys,
But
right?
he immediately thought it was run by monkeys in white coat. Did he really?
Yes, and he was disappointed because it wasn't. He was assuming there'd be little janitors, is that what you said? Yeah, little janitors mopping up.
Carl!
Little chimps with the ECG machines or whatever they're called. Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
He was almost angry.
Yeah.
Disappointed with it.
And what's this about Donna Eyre giving her baby to a gorilla for a week?
It happened.
No, it didn't happen.
She had a baby, they went on the honeymoon, they left it to a little gorilla to look after.
Talk! Absolutely! Don't talk! Oh,
Again,
Carl!
there's people online now, so they can have a look at Anna Nova. Do you want to give some stuff away? Do some,
He believes it, and that's it! But the more these things sort of like pop up come true, the more worrying it is. The more worrying it is for everyone. Imagine if Donna Eyre had left her baby to a gorilla. It's it's libelous. You saying that? It's libelous.
It's not, well, someone will send it in a bit, and then you'll feel daft again. So I'm not even worrying about it.
Okay.
Right, you've got some rubbish to give away, did you say?
Yeah, we've got some stuff to give away, DVDs, stuff like that.
Well, let's play a record, let's do the
Any
competition
VHSs? Any films on VHS?
Yeah, a couple of them in there.
For $4.99?
Yeah.
Supergrass.
Yeah, excellent. What is the competition, incidentally?
Doing songs of phrase.
No. Supergrass, late in the day on XFM 104.9. There's too much to get through here, Rick.
Go on.
There's too many things we've got to systematically
Am I going to eat my words?
Well, before that, you know, we get emails all the time, they're coming through all the way through the show, and I open them, and a lot of them, because, you know, everyone's contributing, it's brilliant, but we can't really absorb everything, there's too much coming through. So I tend to open them quickly, I have a look, see if there's anything we can sort of make sense of, and close them again. Sometimes Karl looks at the emails as I'm opening them. One opened just a minute ago. You saw his face?
Oh, his face, yeah, what was it?
His face was just stunned. He was just absolutely dumbfounded. It was like he'd just seen something extraordinary, right?
And you closed it quickly?
I did close it quickly. I'll tell you why, right? Always got to bear in mind how Karl's mind works. All he saw was the name of the band that this email was promoting. So all he saw, all Karl saw, and you can imagine how excited he was all he saw was half man, half biscuit. That's all he saw.
I've never seen anyone so excited! Oh, God!
It was actually just plugging the popular joke novelty band.
How are you heard of them, then?
No.
Imagine how excited he was.
That is fantastic. Half biscuit! Brilliant! Mr. Garibaldi! Oh, half man, half biscuit. That is genius. Oh, amazing.
I just saw it, and when you closed it again.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he hadn't have told you that, and he'd have erased it, next week you'd be saying, about what they've done in scientists, they've cloned a man with a biscuit. He's got currants for eyes.
Never go swimming.
What?
Never go swimming.
Anyway, just to, I don't know what the world's coming to, but, someone sent us a link to, one of the web news pages.
Go on.
The headline, Donna Eyre to hand her baby over to a gorilla.
Well, it's not. It's not gonna be what he thinks.
Listen. Donna Eyre and her zoo owner boyfriend, Damien Aspinall, intend to place their baby daughter in the care of a gorilla. The couple plan to put Freya, who was born in September, in the gorilla enclosure at the zoo near Canterbury. They will then let her be carried off by the female of the group. Neither parent has any qualms about letting their daughter be taken off, despite 5 keepers being killed by animals at Howlett's and his sister's park since 1980.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, that's it. That's the news.
It's a newborn baby, and they're going to put it in a gorilla. But I mean,
well, he said Why would I not trust them? I know them, I grew up with them, they're my friends.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that they're aggressive, but it might roll over on it, or something.
I don't know, take it up with with them. I mean, Donna Ayre's not the brightest spark in the box.
No, but I
it
don't
would seem
think...
her husband is.
I don't think, you know, that she'd endanger... I mean, they must know something we don't. I still can't believe they're just gonna leave the gorilla with it.
Mm.
Why would you, though? But why would you? Even if it says, well, it's...
Cheaper than a babysitter?
Well, I don't know. Well, how cheap is a gorilla babysitter? Karl knows, because there's probably some sort of organisation.
Right, are we,
Competition then, come on then, what is it? Oh.
Songs of Phrase.
Remind us of this?
We got the film one coming up later as well.
Oh.
But Songs of Phrase is the one where I take a popular phrase from the show.
Well, no, it's not a popular phrase from the show. It's sometimes something you said once.
Oh.
There's this airy Chinese kid.
Yeah. And I get all different bits of songs, so, you know, I make up that sentence, and you have to email in with the artist that you hear.
Well, what's the popular phrase then? What's this popular phrase that's sweeping the nation?
It's what we talked about last week.
Go
on. My girlfriend had a problem with a marrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. She wasn't your girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, but I couldn't find sort of
No, okay.
blind date or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, so seven artists it's taken to make up this
Me
Songs of Phrase.
girlfriend had a problem with her marrow. Well, that's at least 8, so...
Well, maybe
I
not.
think I've managed it in 7. Anyway, here we go.
Oh,
We want the
yeah,
artists, we'll look
yeah,
up the names
the
of the
artists,
artists.
yeah.
Get
What-
a pen and paper and make a note.
What artists are you hearing here?
With her.
Very good.
Oh, okay,
Alright,
what's
so-
more?
So, what are the artists?
With her.
Very
My
good.
girlfriend had a problem with her marrow. We want the names of the artists. What can we win, Karl?
Just can I just recap that story? Girl can't run a blind date. But when he found out that this girl had some sort of bone marrow problem, he said he didn't want to see her anymore. What's the point in getting to know someone that's going to die?
Yeah.
So that's what you're dealing with. That is what you're dealing with Karl Pilkington.
Would you buy a car with a Duff engine?
It's a fair point. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
Don't steal our son. The Thrills on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Over there, Karl Pilkington. The man who believes anything. I think it might be a condition due to his little round head.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, it might be a new condition that we can call cranial sphericity. And because it presses on his lobes, and the only sort of upshot of that is he's normal in every way, but he believes everything he reads or
Yeah.
sees on Anna Nova. Alright?
Talking of which, Rick, I don't really follow the news.
No.
It's mainly boring, innit? Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, it is a war. It's all this nonsense before and after. When it's a war, it's, you know, it's in the middle of the war. You can watch it on telly.
True.
You get results.
True,
You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a test match or something. But it's all this rubbish before and after. This drags on.
This recent war seemed, I thought, just generally, it was better presented than the previous one. Because I remember
Well,
the first Gulf War, it was often during the night, and I
Disappointing.
couldn't stay up.
Yeah,
and stuff.
because I think the American had rights to it, like the Tyson fight, so we had to get it at 2 in the morning,
Exactly.
which is annoying. They had, you know, their prime time in that.
Yeah,
And a lot of it was in black and white, wasn't it, when the bombs went in.
When the bombs went in.
So,
this
no,
time
but
there seemed to be a lot more colourful
yeah,
stuff.
it's much better coverage. I think there should have been awards
Yeah, well, I'd like
for
to see
it.
awards,
So,
yeah.
like Channel 4 won for cricket.
Yeah, I mean, a few times as well, I was quite pleased to see they actually had footage of the bombs exploding.
Yeah.
from buildings and stuff.
Yeah. No, good. Well done.
Generally, you know.
Good on
stuff.
you. Well done. Good on you.
Yeah, I don't know if
Costs a lot though, doesn't it?
it isn't a costly
War's
thing.
a lot more. When you got something like, you know, a Jimmy Carr game show, which probably costs about £100.
Yeah.
Like, half an hour war costs
know.
millions,
It's almost as
man.
expensive as like Terminator 3 or something.
Yeah. But I mean, you know.
But then, you know.
You got a variety.
Exactly.
Sorry, Steve, you were talking, mate.
Well, no, I just wanted to make sure you were aware that the World Elephant Polo Championships have taken place.
I did get it. I
You're
think
aware
they
of that?
mentioned it on, yeah, we won, didn't we?
England won.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, where have they been practicing?
I don't know.
Do you remember ever at school anyone ever saying to you, are you interested in playing polo
Do you,
with
reckon
elephants?
do you reckon it was 5 blokes in pith helmets kept sneaking into a whipsnade?
Possibly.
What are you doing, lads? We're practicing. Get down.
Yeah.
Get off them elephants.
Yeah. I genuinely, I didn't even know we had a team. I can't
Elephant-
believe it.
no,
But it's like Johnny Wilkinson and the rugby lads, they're gonna get MBEs, all sorts. The elephant boys, the elephant polo boys, nothing.
They get nothing.
I haven't seen the
But,
sun
you know,
talking like
to
them.
be fair, it's not like horse polo, where I don't think there's a stick long enough. I think the elephants kick it, don't they?
I think you might be right. I think they're not allowed to use their tusks.
They burst it, won't they?
I think
They go, oh,
Start again.
Raheem!
Yeah.
What do you mean the elephants kick it?
Alright, I've opened a can of worms here. You know, normal polo on a horse, they have like,
yeah, stick
mallets.
and that.
yeah, they whack 'em, right? But I think it's, obviously they're too high up. I think, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they just train the elephant to kick it.
So
it's like-
why are people something about? Why not just let them have a kick about without...
Imagine that! And why does horse racing have to have a jockey? Won't they just let the horses go, oh, yeah, okay, lads, no cheating, on your marks, get set, go. You know, get back here. Get back here. Brilliant. Why do you think? I tell you what, now, I'm gonna be like a teacher now. Why do you think?
Just sort of get mixed up which end they sort of go in. Which end they've got to get the ball in.
Sort of. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you sort of steer an elephant, as it were? How do you ride an elephant? It seems quite a complicated procedure. I don't imagine they're quite as versatile as a horse.
No, you can't sort of like pull it and its head goes,
No.
can you?
I mean, I don't really know how you... I mean, you'd have to have a huge playing surface, wouldn't you? I mean, these are big creatures.
Yeah. They use Kent.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, they dropped two big, huge jumpers.
yeah.
Either side, one in, south of Kent, one in North Kent.
Exactly.
And it takes days
And is
days.
there like 11 on each team?
Yeah, and one on the subs bench.
Exactly.
And it keeps breaking, the bench is broken.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He's living because he's never getting chosen.
He's never getting chosen, yeah. Well, he doesn't turn up to training.
Of course, and he's never going to forget.
He's down the lake.
Exactly.
Down at the lake, when they should be training, eating too many buns.
Exactly.
Like Gascoigne. Right, Karl, come on then.
Oh, hang on, I just must tell you as well about Lord Admiral Nelson's erotic letters.
Go on.
They've been sold at last. For £117,000.
Sunday Mail?
I don't know who bought them.
Who opened them that shouldn't have?
They got
weren't
sent to
even
someone else.
addressed to you.
They were meant for Lady Hamilton. What are you doing opening them?
Go on, then, what's he say? What's he got up to?
It's interesting because they've printed a couple of the things he's wrote.
Dear Lady Hamilton, a bit of a problem. Just the one hand. You might have to help me out on a couple of manoeuvres.
Yeah, and the one eye, so I'm not appreciating the 3D.
Exactly. I don't care where you put it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go on.
You'll have to help me guide it in.
You might as well
can't
stand
tell.
and go across the other side of the room for all the good it do me.
Exactly.
Go on then.
Of course he ended up kissing Hardy, didn't he? Did he kiss Hardy, or did he ask him and he never did?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about this, because I heard that he didn't, and it said kiss me, which means fact, and then I heard that he did say kiss me,
Hardy.
Hardy. Like, you know, because it was Coach Suspense. I don't know. Is it Kismet, or is it kiss me?
Kiss me Hardy. I think his final actual dying breath was no tongues.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure.
And someone went, kiss you what?
Exactly, yeah. Maybe that was his nickname.
My name's Smith.
Yeah.
You want me to kiss?
Exactly.
Kiss me hardy. I wouldn't have thought so. I'll kiss your lips and you'll be happy with it.
But,
I'll touch you, Hardy. But I'm not kissing it. Go on.
Couple of quotes from there. This is him writing to, Lady Hamilton, who he was having an affair with. I can neither eat or sleep for thinking of you, my dearest love. I never touch, even pudding. Well, I think we've all written a letter like that to a lady.
That's a euphemism.
Surely.
That's like, I think that's, I haven't eaten, and by the way, I haven't even knocked one out.
Yeah, exactly.
You are gonna get a sackful. Alright, Karl? You're the producer, is this alright? It's all euphemisms, I've not said anything wrong. Go on.
Oh, come on, it happened in the 19th century. We
Yeah.
can talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
This is more topical than monkey news. Anyway, listen, sorry, we better get back to the competition. I'm worried that we've lost sight of that competition, because I'm not gonna lie to you, we've had no entries whatsoever so far.
I can't believe that, because I actually got up most of those. That's actually a more accessible one. I think I know all the artists, and I'm stuck on, Girlfriend, but I think I might know who that is.
Let's hear it again.
I'm surprised.
With her.
And I think that's a pretty accessible one.
An
now.
accessible quiz?
Yeah, so no one's... Is the email up, or no one's listening?
No, well, I think there's a little bit of that. But, I think we've accidentally closed down the texting.
Oh.
So if you're texting in...
This
don't
is
bother with that.
rubbish. It really is awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just play it again, hang on a minute.
We've heard.
I'll tell you what it was. We didn't give out the prizes. We didn't say what the prizes were going to be. That's the reason.
Yeah, I think the emails are gonna go mental
When they find out it's the first series of Open All Hours on VHS, they'll be flooding in. Let's see what
and
we've
the
got
Bridget
here.
Nielsen video.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
No, actually, it's not too bad.
Go on.
The best air guitar albums in the, in
Yeah,
the
that's
world.
still going. That's
Volumes
that's
1 and
evergreen. That'll keep running and running.
Some kind of anniversary box set of a Doctor Who episode with a
New
small model
one
car.
wants that, baby.
I'm Alan Partridge Series 2, that's
Yeah.
worth having, obviously, and Porridge Series 3.
Okay,
I've
good.
not watched all of them on UK Gold, then put them on DVD.
There's something wrong with you.
Alright.
So yeah, let's hear it again.
Alright.
We've heard.
Just name the artist, that's all we want, just the artist.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
Play record.
Right, Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic.
His version of Wonderwall, if you've not heard it
Beautiful.
yet, you'll be loving it.
You'll be loving this. Radiohead, Fake Plastic Trees on XFM 104.9.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just emailed in and said, just want to know what you think of that cover of Wonderwall.
We told you. We said it was great.
Yeah.
Listen.
But they must have been listening to hear...
The song.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Although maybe they just turn off...
When we start talking.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
That would make sense. I mean, it would make sense in a sort of preserving of sanity type way as well.
Objectively, Rick, if you were listening at home, if you didn't know us and you were listening to the show, would you listen to it? Would you bother? I know that's a hard thing to get your head round.
It's difficult to say,
Theoretically.
isn't it? I've no idea. I've no idea what people coming to this for the first time think.
I mean, I love you like a brother, but I get sick of you.
Yeah. I mean, I get sick of me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go up and
It's weird you should say that, because someone's emailed in.
Yeah.
A recent survey's been done by Cheltenham and Gloucester. The most desirable neighbour in Britain. Number 1,
Shane Ritchie.
Johnny Wilkinson.
Oh, right.
It doesn't actually give me the full rundown, but David Beckham was in the list.
Yeah.
Shane Ritchie was indeed in the list.
Yeah, he's flying at the moment.
As was Ricky Gervais.
Really?
Well, that's what it says. It doesn't tell me where you came, though. And there was actually a neighbour from hell, and you weren't in that list.
Well, I'm a good neighbour.
Oh, come on.
I am. I'm quiet. I don't keep myself to myself. I never...
Do you know what I'm thinking of?
What?
If it was best friend.
Yeah.
Now that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Most desirable friend.
I'm a good neighbour. I'm quiet, you know, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I imagine being stuck in a room with me writing all the time, with me squeaking like a chimp.
Unbelievable.
Although I don't physically abuse you, I save that to my bald mates like Karl and Rob and that. I just like to squeeze their head. I don't squeeze your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's because you command a little bit more respect.
Well, thanks very much.
Do you know what I mean? You're not that sort of... You're not an idiot.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Alright, Karl, got anything to say? Has anyone seen this picture in Heat this week? It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Do you know what Steve said when he saw that, Karl?
Go on.
He said, it has captured Karl.
What do you mean?
Well, you just look utterly gormless. In the picture. It's captured you brilliant. You know how like a good photographer can do that? They can capture the essence of someone. That's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Well, actually, I'm the photographer.
Yes,
Because
you
it was
are.
a screen grab from the behind-the-scenes footage.
Well done.
So I got that gimpness. I captured the essential gimposity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Karl.
Yeah.
Alright?
Should it?
Yeah, well, I did a little article for Time Out, and I think Boyd from Heat has sent over that screen grab to them, so he might be in Time Out. I'm gonna try and get him in every publication.
Yeah.
For 1 year. It's like
Well, you've managed it in the last 2 weeks.
Exactly, yeah. It's like a Dave Gorman project. Are you Karl Pilkington?
Yes.
Let's do that, shall we? If anyone's got a publication, it doesn't matter how little, just take it from Heat. That's mine, so you're welcome to it. Just try and just put his picture in anything. Next to round things is best, isn't it? That'd be good. You alright, Karl, with that?
Yeah.
Alright then, good. What have you got for us, Karl?
News headlines?
There hasn't sort of been that much going on.
Sure.
Sort of headline-wise, you know.
Sure.
No, because I look for good headlines and that, don't I? That sort of get you interested, like the...
Well, then when you're interested, you don't read on.
No, I did.
Okay, go on.
Like the one, do you know the one I read out a couple of weeks ago? That was, man lives in dump for 10 years.
Right? I remember the Chinese woman eats dirt.
Yeah, well...
That was a cracker.
Man lives in dump for 10 years. I read on with that one yesterday. Yeah. I found it in my bag because I took it on, so that I'll read that when I get a minute. Yeah. Right?
News. Imagine that. News. I might read last Thursday's Sun.
Yeah.
Just to catch up.
Do you know how he got caught?
What do you mean how he got caught?
He lived in a
rubbish dump.
Well, what's up with that?
He lived in a rubbish dump. No one knew he was there, right? Yeah. He was living off food that had been chucked away. So a lot of people chuck away stuff that isn't off, so you can survive on that. He had a nice little place to sleep and that, on an old mattress, that was alright and stuff. Got away with it for 10 years, until he decided to celebrate bonfire night with some fireworks. Can you believe that?
Well, he's happy that the gunpowder plot was foiled, and the Guy Fawkes was beheaded, thus saving our system of government.
There's got to be a couple of news headlines, surely.
Hold on, wait a minute. Bong.
Pierce penis man off the hook.
Bong.
Man changed his name to Bubba.
Bong.
Dwarf to live in a glass box.
Dwarf to live in a glass box?
Yeah, it's meant to be art or something. It's not though, is it?
What? Meant to be art? Why is, whose idea is this? Is art, or is someone hired a dwarf to live in their box?
It's just a box, and he can even leave when he wants, apparently. He can, like, go, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going for a walk, and he puts a little note.
If it's Damien Hirst, he might end up in 4 bits. So, just be careful.
Well, to me, that's like that thing when I said to you about the woman in the jar.
What woman in the jar?
The woman in the jar, they go, oh, come and see the woman in a jar. And then it turns out it's a big jar. So
it's like, well,
put me in there as well, then.
Exactly.
It's not special. Yeah. And that's the same with him. It's a big box, he's a small fella. What's good about that?
What do you want to do, though? To compress matter?
But hang on, it's not a world record-breaking attempt, it's supposed to be art.
You know, what's art about that?
Well, I don't know. What's art about
that? Oh, can we do a show for BBC 3? Karl Pilkington going around, what's art about that?
Yeah.
That is brilliant. What's art about that?
I'd love that.
Would you?
I'd love that.
Me and Steve are going to do a thing called Is Art Rubbish? Where we go round and we chat about it.
Yeah.
But we can hand that over to you if you want to do that. If anyone from BBC 3 is listening, Karl Pilkington, what's art about that? Alright? Weird, isn't it? And what would you go around like Sensation and things like that, and Saatchi, and going...
Dali and that.
You put a sheep in formaldehyde, what's art about that? Our butcher does it. Alright, weird, isn't it?
What do you make of Dali and the melting clocks, all that stuff?
Talked about it, haven't we?
Have
told you, yeah, told you.
What do you think of it?
He sort of milked the idea a bit.
Right.
Because everything had a melting clock on it. It was like he had a bit of success with it once, and then he just ruined it. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
It's like you with the monkeys.
Like Status Quo?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. What's your favourite artist? Don't say Lowry.
Lowry's my
favourite artist. Why is Lowry your favourite artist?
Captures life, doesn't he? Going on and
in stick form.
I know you're a big fan of Where's Wally as well, aren't you? You've never found him, have you? I've never found him yet.
No, Karl, that's not Wally, that's a stain on the table. You've come off the book again.
Anyway. Listen, are we doing what's in a bit?
What?
What?
We don't know what you're talking about.
Play a record.
What?
Yeah, we'll be doing what's it in.
Yeah, what's it? Coming up after the break.
The film thing.
The film thing. Oh, idiot. Libertines Don't Look Back Into the Sun on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, have we got the results?
Yeah.
Go on then, what are they?
Songs of phrase.
Okay, songs of phrase. This was the phrase,
these were the songs. My girlfriend had a problem with a marrow. The answer's Sinatra, Prince, Bill Medley, U2, Shirelles. There was also Dub Pistols in there. No
one got all of them, Karl, obviously. But we'll give it to Mark Cantan. He got, what did he get, about 6 or something? Yeah. Well done, he's from Dublin, so that's nice.
Well done.
Listening over there, the Irish.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
A German man, just thought I'd let you know this, Karl,
sure.
Ricky. A German man has, been arrested because he taught his dog to give the Nazi salute. And then he made it do it in front of 2 policemen. I think it's an offence in Germany now. That's a fascist with too much time on their hands.
No, but is it, it's illegal for a dog to do it as well?
I think so.
I bet he thought he'd found a loophole.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been dying to do it, but he thought, well, I'm not allowed to do it. It's illegal for a human to do it.
Yeah.
Thought he got round it. No.
For a while, it just kept doing the Basil Fawlty funny walk. And he's going, no,
no,
you're
don't
undermining
do that.
it. Don't do the legs as well. But the reason I mentioned it is because he's German. And what were you telling me earlier about? Karl was whittering on about the Germans earlier. He was saying something about the accent. It's fine with blokes, but not with women. You won't want to go out with a German woman because the accent.
I just think it's a bit manly, isn't it?
Sure.
Is it?
Yeah, it sounds a bit hard. I can't imagine having a nice sort of romantic chat with someone.
Well, it's not a romantic language, no. It's quite harsh, yeah, but that's our...
No, but what I mean is, right, I can't speak any other languages apart from this one.
Well...
Right.
You're struggling with this one.
Yeah.
And what I mean is...
Whereas you really do speak the language of love, alright? There's some condoms, where's me tea?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if a French woman was talking to me, I'd say, I don't know what you're talking about, love, but it sounds good. Whereas a German woman,
Yeah.
I'd go, oof. And she might be saying really nice stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But then we got talking because, do you know, like, me brother
Sort of a prejudice, really, isn't it?
In a sense.
What do you mean?
In a sense, it's racist, but anyway, on you go.
Yeah, go on.
It's not really, is it?
No.
But, yeah, my brother was in the army, we've talked about it, haven't we? And
Yeah.
how he got kicked out for going for a packet of fags in a tank and that,
Yeah.
right? But he was, when he was in the army, he was based in Germany for a bit. And, he used to be one for sort of, you know, picking up the ladies and that. He always had, you know, new girlfriends and stuff.
He's a Pilkington.
Used to get through loads of them.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I wasn't that bad. But
Well,
my
no,
brother,
because you had things like trouble with your marrow and that. No, you might die, I'm not interested.
yeah, but no matter what he did, do you know what I mean? When he was a bus driver, he was one of them who always had a woman still at the front with him and sort of, you know, having a chat and stuff.
Sure.
And, he sort of got kicked out of that and stuff. Yeah. But,
When he was bus driver, did he own the bus or did he just take it to get a packet of fags?
so,
He's in Germany.
he's in Germany, and the army people say to him, now, we know what you like, Pilkington, right?
Das Pilker.
Don't be meeting up with any German women.
Fraulines. Leave the Fraulines alone.
Not allowed to go out with German women. Because apparently they get you and then they beat you up and that.
What, the German women?
Why?
Go on.
Dunno, they just said because they don't like, English army people and that.
Why?
See,
I don't know.
the English is your first language, isn't it?
Are you speaking German now? Or?
I can't tell. Don't get out with the Germans, go beat you up and that, don't like English army man.
What
See, is that?
What worries me, Rick, is we've got the face, the body language and things to try and interpret this gobbledygook. The listeners, they just got the words.
It must be, yeah. It must be just ridiculous for a listener. Right, just do the competition. What was that anecdote about? Don't go out with German women, they'll beat you up.
I'm just saying, when if you're in the army, if you're about to join the army and you think, it'll be great, I'm gonna meet loads of women over in Germany, it's not gonna happen.
Wise words there, wise words.
So this station in public service.
Excellent, okay.
Right, can we just play a song and then do the film thing?
No, just do the film thing now.
Oh no, let's play a song.
Oh, what are we playing?
Bit of brag.
Billy Bragg,
Yeah.
excellent.
What's this called?
Called The Saturday Boy, Karl.
That good one.
Billy Bragg, The Sunday Boy on XFM 104.9. Ricky's laughing because he's just thrown something at Karl.
It made him jump.
Yeah, that's worked well. Here are the prizes for the film quiz thing, which I think is what it's called. Brilliant. People will be loving this. It's Trance Anthems,
Brilliant.
2003. We know we got a lot of trance fans listening. The best air guitar album, obviously.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The best club anthems. Series 1 of Happiness by Paul Whitehouse. The very best of Father Ted on DVD. We've got Teachers. We've got Knowing Me, Knowing You. Not too bad. Yeah, a few bundles there. Good stuff. Christmas gifts and things like that. So
That Knowing Me, Knowing You, I've noticed on VHS, which is good.
yeah.
That's quite quaint. Excellent. Brilliant.
Alright.
Yeah, so explain the conceit of this?
It's when, you know, we sort of dig out a film that I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is... I don't know if I'll tell you what a film is, because that might be the question, thinking about it. Because there isn't that much going on in the clip.
I think we need to know what the film is.
Do you?
Yeah.
Alright, it's Rain Man.
Okay.
Why is he called Rain Man?
Is that going to be the question?
Yeah, I know the answer, Carl. Don't worry. Don't look at me like that.
I do.
Oh, well done. Yeah, you should watch the film. Yeah, you should.
Right, so it's you, Karl, in the film Rain Man.
Yeah, it's the bit when, Tom Cruise, is in the doctors with the ill man. Alright? There we go. You ready?
Well, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I do know that his brain doesn't work like other people.
Wait, I am sat here. Don't go talking about me like I'm some sort of diff kid. Got a good brain. Works well. It stores all sorts of information and stuff, doesn't it, Tom?
He remembers things, little things sometimes.
Well, don't say like that, little things, as if it's stuff that isn't important.
Are you good with numbers? The doctor's asking you a question.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. Good with numbers. It depends. Not that good at maths, but I remember facts that have got numbers in them. Like I know that 1 person in 2 billion will live to be 116 or over. Right? Weird thing is a lot of them are Chinese, so, you know, sort of makes you wonder if they're lying.
I'm afraid I don't understand what you're talking about.
What do you mean you don't understand? It's not... Alright, here's an easier one for you then. Goldfish have better memories than people think.
He's right. He's right? Yeah.
See? There you go. Goldfish related. Oldest goldfish in the world was 41.
No.
Yeah. Funny thing is there, if it was a goldfish with a dodgy memory, it could have been older. Could have been, you know, pushing 45.
That's amazing. I mean, that is amazing. He should work for NASA or something like that.
Well, don't go that far. You know, they're the sort of things that I like reading about, you know. I've got that big book there. It's full of...
Did you read all this?
Yeah, don't...
You read all these stories that are in this book.
Don't bother touching
Maybe
it.
you better put it back.
Give it back. Go.
Okay, no, Ray, take it easy. I'm not gonna... I won't touch anything else, Ray.
Come on.
It's okay, Ray. It's okay. Come on.
Can I ask you something else, Raymond?
No. No, you've annoyed me now. You've kept coming here saying I'm daft and that and messing with my book. Just go, will you?
Excuse me.
Were they messing with your big book of freaky facts? Yeah, that's out of order.
Good.
Right.
So what's the question? Why is he called Rain Man?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Everyone happy with that question? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. Why is he called Rain Man?
Right.
Yep. Bad Day, REM, XFM 104.9. That's nearly it, isn't it?
That's almost it.
Got through another one. Got through another one seamlessly.
The film
Brilliant.
quiz, obviously we had just moments ago, it was Karl featured in Rain Man. The question was, why is he and the film called Rain Man? The answer, Ricky, was...
Well, Tom Cruise's character, when he was little, couldn't say Raymond, and he used to call him Rain Man.
Okay. Plenty of right answers, but we're going to give it to John Steele, who, interestingly, is from West Yorkshire. He's listening.
Yeah. That is,
So
that is interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much that. Is there time for Monkey News?
I think we got to have Monkey News.
Let's
And
play
then that second track from the Ryan Adams
Let's
album.
play the jingle, though, if we can.
Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News, you
Right. Now, it was back in the 1980s.
Right. So it's quite topical then. Okay. When did this happen then? 1980s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about a Colombian F1 sort of, Formula 1 driver.
Yeah.
Apparently these races were going on, right? And someone kept winning them.
Right, okay, forget it. No, don't do it. It's rubbish. 'Cause it's rubbish.
Right, so someone kept winning the races.
So, this human, that kept winning the races. So this human being that kept winning the races, Karl, what was his name?
His name it's Jimmy something.
Yeah. How tall was he? Just out of interest. No,
let's hear the story,
Was he about 4
You
foot 8?
might find out if I tell you the story.
Yeah.
Right?
Go on.
So anyway, he kept winning and everyone was like, oh, he's brilliant, this guy, who is he, and all that.
Yeah.
But his gimmick, right?
Was never showing his body or face?
That's right. Never took his helmet off.
You're an idiot.
Never took his helmet off, right?
You know the short trousers he used to wear? His trousers were about a foot long, but his shirt, the sleeves were really long.
Anyway, right, so because he wouldn't take his helmet off, and
You're an idiot.
he was taking part in, like, the F3, which is like the lower ranks of Formula 1 and
Just
that.
get to it.
Everyone thought it was like a famous driver who's taking part in that.
Get to being a monkey.
Anyway, what happened was, there was a crash one day.
Yeah.
And the car tipped over, everyone's like, oh.
He ran up a tree?
So...
They suspected when he ran away with the ambulance people up a tree and started eating a banana?
So the marshals ran over and the ambulance people were there and they were about to take his helmet off, and the marshal was like, "Don't take his helmet off."
Give away the secret that he's a monkey.
Give away the secret and that.
Yeah, chimp. Yeah.
Took his helmet off.
Jimmy Chimpus.
Little monkey under there.
No, definitely not. Okay, let's play Ryan Adams.
Did he survive? Let me just a couple of questions. Did he survive?
Yeah, he did, yeah. He was allowed to keep all the awards that he won.
Sure.
But he wasn't allowed to take part in any other races.
Yeah, didn't happen. This is Ryan Adams. We'll see you next week.
This is a song called The Shadowlands, also from that Life is Hell album. It's good stuff.
Idiot.